Chapter 851 Inches Top Product Artifact. Tianyun's eyes were condensed, and he did not expect to have a top-quality artifact, beyond his expectations. Since it was not used before, the eye of the investigation was not detected. After it was released, it was known that there was a top artifact. It is no wonder that this Longyu demon will be so calm, just a top-quality artifact, enough to calm him down. If he has been attacking and can't hurt him, then he will continue to give him energy, but help him cultivate. It seems that because of this stuff, they can't kill the gods. Tianyun immediately understood this. Even if he swallowed energy all the way, with the top artifacts, it is difficult to invade the top artifact. This guy really had to compromise before the compromise. Even if the body was swallowed up, there is still nothing. Just to devour it all the time, it will definitely make him lose a lot of power, not the scene that Longyu Devil wants to see. What's wrong? Continue to swear, have the ability to continue to squat. Idiot, garbage. Longyu Devil smiled and said, on your strength, still want to kill me? Just confident. Just show me. He began to ridicule Tianyun constantly, but he was provocative. In fact, he was angering Tianyun to continue to attack himself. However, even if he is slashing him, the most is to recover the energy, and it can't cause any harm to Tianyun. Of course, after recovering the body, it is impossible to leave this suppression. There is no body on the top of the giant nail, but the nail is more of his soul power, and the huge big battle is pressing him. If he can escape if he breaks his foot, he has long abandoned his body and ran outside. This is another treasure. This treasure can swallow the master's attack. Even if the three gods join hands to attack, they are still absorbed into it. The ancient monument of Tianyun town appeared next to Tianyun, staring at this treasure carefully. If you continue to attack, you will continue to devour energy, thus enhancing your strength, so the master can only seal him, until the repair to a strong degree, can break the protection of this treasure. Longyu Devil is not dead, not his own healing ability is too strong, but not too strong, but has a top artifact. This top artifact is not an ordinary top-quality artifact. Tianyun can feel the effect is stronger than the ancient ***** tower. The same as the top artifact, there are strengths and weaknesses. Obviously, the superior artifact created by this evil spirit will be even bigger. This point is seen from the heavenly god treasure. The effect of the Chinese artifact is simply comparable to the top artifact, and they can't be created. Nothing. Let me see. This toy can withstand a strong attack. Tianyun said indifferently. This. When Tianyun town's ancient monument wanted to say something, he saw Tianyun's firm gaze and immediately closed his mouth. Tianyun clasped the evil spirit sword, so he flew in front of the Longyu Devil, and looked at the ridiculous eyes of the Longyu Devil. Why? If you can't cut it, just get out of it. Longyu Devil sneered, his voice full of disdain. Who said that I can't cut it? Tianyun waved the evil spirit's sword and mobilized the power of the body. The jewelry equipped on the body was directly released to the greatest strength. The madness of the overbearing wild suit was superimposed on it, and the evil dragon suit on the body was released to the strong power. Immediately, the head of the Longyu Devil was smashed down, and now the combat power has reached almost 200 billion. This does not include the crazy damage mode, so it is so heavy. Boom. The power of terror has been smashed down, and the art of the soul has a dazzling light that resists the power of this hegemony. Booming. Amazing power slammed the head of Longyu Devil's head and attached it to the wall. The shield continued to release strength to protect the head of Longyu Devil. At the same time, it is constantly absorbing the energy of the attack. The swordsman, which was originally overbearing, has quickly become thin and looks like it has to be drained at any time. After a while, a sword was finished, but the head of Longyu Devil was unscathed, and even the shield could not be opened. Longyu Devil looked shocked at the shield in front of him. He felt that the shield was almost smashed. This power was too horrible. He did not expect Tianyun to explode such terrible power. With this attack, it can also destroy my defense. You are too naive, this is the ability. Longyu Devil laughed, but the heart is not as calm as the surface. If he feels that he will continue to be strong, the shield will not continue to withstand it and will surely be smashed. At the same time, the violent attack was quickly swallowed into the shield and turned into a asterisk energy to him, allowing him to accelerate the healing of his body. If you really have such a treasure, as long as you keep the soul intact, then he will not die. The power of the king is not small, not as easy as the weak practitioners, the soul is not destroyed, and life is not dead. When Tianyun killed them before, they all started from the beginning to the end, especially the head, which must be split in half. This will completely kill the other party and completely destroy the soul. Oh, this defense is not bad. Tianyun smiled, he just tried it a little, and even the crazy damage mode was not displayed. He just mobilized the whole body equipment to attack, and found that it is difficult to break open. Although there is no crazy damage mode, the damage that comes out is absolutely comparable to the 6 or 7 levels of the king. Terrible equipment bonus. How can the effect be worse? It's just that this damage still can't break the shield, still need to increase the intensity. So what? Tianyun puts the evil spirit's sword in a horizontal position, and at the same time equips the two kings of the king of the world and the sanctioner, instantly superimposing 12 times the terrorist fighting power. Boom! In an instant, his power rose to the sky, and the entire monument of Tianyun town shook up, and the faintness was about to suppress this power. Tianyun's second phase of the king's reign, the basic combat power is 50 billion. 12 times is not the limit. He also has the old-fashioned suit, which can provide 3 times the damage bonus. When superimposed, it becomes 15 times the combat power. 750 billion combat power. 780 billion combat power. 790 billion combat power. 800 billion combat power. Finally, it stopped at the battle of 800 billion yuan. This is the ultimate effect of combining the strength of all his equipment. The evil spirits in the hands are even more squeaky, and the shining light shines to the extreme. This power. Finally, the face of Xuanhuan devil changed, and he thoroughly felt the feeling of death. This piece can definitely open his head. Chapter 852. With a total combat power of 800 billion yuan, it has reached an unprecedented peak. In fact, Tianyun can also explode more powerful combat power. However, he would like to give it a try and see what level he can break out without relying on the crazy damage mode. Just want to try it. Can you crush this hard shield with this combat power, and see what strength the top artifact can achieve? Boom! The entire monument of Tianyun town was shaken, and the spirits on the side were all scared. This horrible power, he never felt. Even the 3 great kings of God have not had such terrible powers. Well, good power. The spirits are stupid. If you change to an illusion, you won't have such a rich expression. Xuanhuan devil is even more exaggerated, constantly twisting his body, want to break free from this giant nail, so quickly leave from here. However, this giant nail constantly released energy, and the above-mentioned gods continued to flash, pinning him to the wall. No matter how he twisted, he couldn't get out of it. He has already felt the fear of death, and if he does not escape, he will die. I don't know if you can stop this trick. Tianyun showed a hint of evil charm. Kill me, your 3 worlds will die. Finally, Xuanhuan devil still did not compromise, still staring at him, not afraid of death. If you don't kill you, then the 3 realms are not as good as death. Don't worry, how many people will come when you come, how much will I kill? Or go into your ancestral land, take a killing, give your evil spirits thoroughly killed. Tianyun is not afraid of threats. Destroy our ancestral land. It is a joke. Just rely on you to repair it, and it will not match our generals. Xuanhuan devil laughed. It is estimated that you can't even enter the door of our ancestral land. Just died outside. Right, let you see something before you die. Tianyun reached out and made a trick. The evil spirit appeared in front of the Xuanhuan devil. The huge body was exactly the same as the Xuanhuan devil. There was no change. This. Xuanhuan devil eyes wide open. I don't know what this stuff is. How can there be his own people willing to talk to Tianyun? At this time, Tianyun has already swung the sword, and the fighting power of up to 800 billion has broken down. When the overbearing sword Mons touched the shield of this day's soul artifact, the sound of the slamming, the hard shield was immediately a sword smashed down and slid into the head with ease. Without the protection of the shield, the head of Longyu Devil is as fragile as tofu, and it is easy to cut in. Soon the whole head began to be destroyed, and when the soul touched the overbearing swordsman, it immediately vanished. The Longyu Devil did not make any screams, but it has been broken into 2 paragraphs and completely dead. It is not only the soul that flies, but even the body is turned into ashes, and it drifts away. The extremely overbearing power has far exceeded the range of Longyu Devil. In particular, the Longyu demon has always been in a weak position and was sealed by power. Most of his own power could not be erupted. As long as the shield is broken, the Longyu Devil is the fish that can be slaughtered. Hey, successful killing Longyu demon, gaining experience of 360 million points, madness worth 6.5 million points, sin worth 1 million points. Get the soul artifact, top artifact, evil spirit sword, evil spirit necklace. The soul of evil spirits, the blood of evil spirits, the bones of evil spirits. Hey, successfully completed the super mainline mission, killing the evil spirits and becoming the savior. Earn rewards with 100 billion points of experience, 100 million points of madness, 50 million points of sin, 5,000 points of value, and the title of Savior, the name of the Savior. After the equipment, the people's heart, the command value increased by 100,000, only valid for the 3 realms. The command value has increased by 100,000, which is really a terrible value. The words that represent him are equal to authority. No one can question his words and say what he is. The normal mainline missions were not completed, the super mainline missions were completed, and a lot of rewards were awarded. The piles of rewards are really astounding, and the number is really amazing. When he saw this reward before, he felt very blind. It's not long before the time has passed, and I've earned this reward. Ended. Tianyun sighed and finally killed this most powerful existence. The rest was to clean up all the evil spirits in the 3 realms. Kill him. The ancient monument of Tianyun town was stunned on the side. He was always trapped in the dragon and devil, and he was worried that the dragon and the devil would escape. All along, he is praying that the asterisk of the gods will come back quickly, otherwise the dragon will disappear after the escape. Who knows the successor of the god of heaven? It is so easy to solve, it is still a type of easy spike. Then the hard treasure shield is so hard to burst into fire. In fact, this can happen. To a large extent, Tianyun has drained the energy of Longyu Devil. The lack of energy makes the power of the soul artifact maximize, and the result is much weaker than usual. Under this condition, a sword is enough to detonate the shield. Yes, I finally killed him. Tianyun sighed, and this guy has always been a big problem. Now that Longyu Devil is being killed, there is no big heart, but there are some things that I think more, that is the evil spirit's offense. As the dragon and leap god said, if you kill him, it is very likely that the evil spirits will sense this side, and will certainly speed up the attack. However, it is a blessing that can't be avoided. He can only take command of the 3 realms and arrange all aspects to withstand the upcoming war. At the same time, in the area far away from the 3 realms, on a huge ship of spirits, there is a group of powerful evil spirits, each of whom is wearing thick equipment, and there is basically no sacrificial level on the level. The difference is the level of the sacred, and one of the evil spirits is full of artifacts. He looked at the debris in his hand, his eyes full of killing. Longyu Devil is dead. Not only is Longyu Devil dead, Sot Devil is also dead, sent out to die. There is nothing before. Logically speaking, it should be the command of the area, and it's all dead. General Longte, it seems that they have encountered difficulties, and that small area is not as good as the imagination, said the subordinate. The king has already thought of it, so I sent us over. I didn't expect it to die all of a sudden. General Lundy said coldly. It is impossible to say that other forces will join the battle. This will happen. No matter what, that area must be handed. His eyes were cold, and the entire hall was full of chilling atmosphere. The huge spirit ship shuttled the empty space at an extremely fast speed and rushed to the front. Chapter 853. After Yi Tianyun killed the Longyu demon, the natural monument of Tianyun town did not need to stay here anymore, and finally became his portable weapon. The ancient monument of Tianyun town is still a very good artifact. After all, the Chinese artifact is not a low-level one, especially if it is spiritual, the power is undoubtedly stronger. Soon he returned to Tianyun Dedu, where he still acted according to the usual situation. No one knows that a big heart is over. Most people don't know, Yi Tianyun has just solved the big problem in the three realms and become a savior. This is something that they can't do with the King of Heaven. It is incredible to let Yi Tianyun do it now. But no one knows about this, and there are very few people who know it. It is meaningless that Yi Tianyun did not promote anything. Many people do not know that there is such a dragon god, so it is meaningless to say it. I am not sure that most people still suspect that he is bragging. No one will believe him. There is no evil spirit in this world. Yi Tianyun sighed with relief. He said that he had eliminated all evil spirits and did not include Longyu demon. If it is included, the mainline task will not be completed. It's only now that it's really cleared, and all the evil spirits are removed. When you look at the rest of the world, you can really destroy all the evil spirits. However, a little progress has been very smooth. It is much better than the real world. It is an alliance. The situation of the alliance is quite smooth. Basically, it can be said that all the alliances have been completed, and the experience is constantly superimposed. If it continues, he can break through to the next level. It is so good that it is the merits of the ancient ***** tower, so many practitioners spread outside and told Yi Tianyun's deeds. It can be said that most people in the underworld know that, especially the key owners know that this is the key to a rapid alliance. It doesn't matter if the people in the Pingtu know it. Anyway, the alliance has nothing to do with them. Once the king level knows, he immediately knows how to make a choice. Almost, you can go to heaven to do something. The underworld and the realm are almost all done, and what is left is the situation of heaven. However, the problem is not that big. Before he helped the gods of the gods to kill so many gods, it was enough to shock most of the forces in the heavens. Who would dare to chase him? Transfer. Immediately, Yi Tianyun's figure flashed and disappeared into the original place. The next moment appeared in the function emperor. It is easy to use the ***** stone, and it is easy to reach this heavenly emperor. Everyone is busy with their own affairs when they come to function Dedu. His grandfather has been busy, and he has not stopped. His parents are also managing all aspects of the matter, and the situation of Feng Tiandi is booming. Without some of the guys who are eating and drinking, they will surely stabilize. With the excitement of Yi Tianyun, those arrogant geniuses have retired and practiced. They all followed the example of Yi Tianyun, remembering the figure of many gods in the war, so that they were like chicken blood, and they continued to cultivate. Yi Tianyun flashed and went outside the study room of the main hall. He came to the door and gently knocked on the door. In the busy Yi Yuanlong looked up and saw Yi Tianyun. He put down his work and surprised, "Tianyun, are you back?" "Grandpa, I am back." Yi Tianyun walked in with a smile. "But this time, there is one thing to discuss with you." Yi Yuanlong blinked and said, "Is it an alliance?" "It seems that Grandpa has inquired about the news." Yi Tianyun smiled and Yi Yuanlong knew it was not surprising. This is a little inquiring. Yi Yuanlong is a little embarrassed. He obviously does not deliberately understand the things in the realm. What is good about everything in the world? They are nothing more than wanting to know the situation of Yi Tianyun. Who knows that there is a lot of movement in the realm of the world, and Yi Tianyun must unify the world. This incident really shocked them. It is a very difficult task to unify the world. However, it seems that the problem is not big. But this time I came, it is indeed related to the alliance. In the words of the heavens, we will seal the gods and the kings, and then form alliances with other gods. Yi Tianyun took out the storage ring and placed it on the table and said, "This is the evil spirit necklace, which can easily detect their existence. Although there are 10 stars staring at here, but not every place can be stared, so we must spread these out and completely remove the evil spirits of the heavens. Tianyun's eyes are full of killings. It is definitely not a stay. Whether it is big or small, don't have a bit of pity. Sometimes it is necessary to be a little bit. Once you relax, or if you are sympathetic, you will only die. I have taken this point a bit, and it really has a great effect. Xuanhuan took the necklace and said, although we have a prestige for the gods, let all the gods, we are the lords, the difficulty is still a bit difficult. I am not afraid, there is me. Tianyun smiled slightly. The ancestors suppressed the demon, I was killed. What? Xuanhuang's hand shook, and the jade cup in the hand directly shredded. You don't have to care. In short, even if you go to the alliance, you can basically start now. If you don't have an alliance, if the evil spirits kill, you will definitely be in a passive state. Tianyun said with a smile. As for non-cooperation, soon they knew how to choose. After Xuanhuan settled his heart, he immediately got up and said, that's good, now I will go to work. In addition to his shock, his heart was still shocked. Tianyun can kill the demon, which means that it has broken through to the king of the king. **** is here, who dares not to accept it? Soon after Xuanhuan went on, he issued this matter and immediately let the diplomatic gods go out to promote the alliance. Some feel that it is unlikely that the gods of the gods will become the lords, but they still go to the scalp and only hope that they will not be driven out. What? You said let us join an alliance, and this alliance needs to be dominated by the gods of the gods. If anything, do you have to follow the instructions of the gods of the heavens? Yes, the Lord said so. God looked at their serious expression and couldn't help but wipe the cold sweat. Impossible. If the situation of the gods is the same as it was a long time ago, we can still listen. Now this power is much different than before, boom. At this time, they felt the earth shake and shook them a lot. They all went out of the palace and looked outside. Then I saw the sky began to change color, and the 10 stars burst into a dazzling light, which was almost motivated to the ultimate effect. For a time, the sky flashed and thundered, and I felt that power had to come down. Chapter 854 10 Stars of Power. Madly flashing, lightning and thunder spread rapidly around, covering a large area. The original daytime situation turned into a dark night. The thick thunder and lightning are constantly twisting in the sky, and you have to kneel down at any time. This shows that many of the kings who oppose the alliance have a sense of fear in their hearts. They have never felt the pressure of such horror, knowing that their cultivation is a sacred level of cultivation, and ordinary pressure is impossible to make them feel fearful. This time it was a very fearful fear. With a kind of thunder, you can completely ruin them. I am the second elder of the gods of the gods. In the heavens, the demon is rampant, and it is the evil spirits. I believe that there will be records in your ancestors. In the first place, the 3 realms of death and injury in the 3 realms are the evil spirits. Now the evil spirits are hiding in the darkness of the heavens. In the midst of it, I don't know how many times I will rush out to swallow us. But one thing is clear, that is, this disaster is coming. So we have to form a huge alliance, headed by our gods. We don't want to control all the forces, we call the king in heaven, but we want to put down our prejudice and support each other. As for why we want to be headed by the gods, the reason is very simple, that is, I am here. As soon as the voice fell, the sparkling light of the 10 stars seemed to reach a critical point, followed by a horrible light column, and with the bang, the whole heavens shook. The white light that runs through, like the dazzling sun in the same round, immediately makes the sky that was originally made up by the black clouds become white. Dazzling to make everyone unable to open their eyes, can only feel the sound of crazy vibrations under the feet, as if feeling the heavens to collapse. After a while, there was a huge deep pit in the place where the light beam penetrated. From the above, it was unfathomable, like a bottomless pit. Most of the kingdoms of the kingdom of God feel this power. They don't need to fly to the attacked place personally. They all know how powerful the trick was, and it is definitely the effect of being able to annihilate an emperor. This means that the gods of the gods are not pleasing to the eye, they are directed at the emperor, and they have not responded at that time. The emperor has evaporated from the human world. This is strength. This is deterrent. Soon the black cloud quickly disappeared, and the sky returned to its original form, as if nothing had happened. Many nationals shake hands with their hands, and turn to wipe the cold sweat, followed by the gods who came to say that, what agreement needs to be signed? This is a very common alliance agreement. It will not occupy the resources of your big country. It is necessary to gather and unite with each other. God also wiped the cold sweat, but the heart was shocked. It is no wonder that the patriarchs will announce and let them go to the alliance. At first, I thought that I would be driven out. The result was indeed to be driven out. It was only a little while, and there was a huge reversal immediately. Many people who insisted on not joining, now choose to join, and immediately let many gods make their eyes open. They all know a second elder, but they did not expect the second elders to be so overbearing. Most of the country's owners were deeply shocked, so they had to choose to join. Tianyun, who stayed on the 10 stars, looked at the situation around him, and the information was constantly heard from his ear. Oh, success in alliance with the beasts of the beasts, gaining 18 billion in experience, 500,000 points of madness, and 500,000 proficiency. Hey, I've successfully formed an alliance with the royal winds and gained experience. Ding! After Tianyun revealed his hand, all the kingdoms of God had compromised. The empire did not have to say anything. Even the kingdom of God compromised. Can the imperial level not compromise? Soon after the experience of the crazy explosion, Tianyun was very satisfied. It doesn't matter what the reason is, the focus is really strength. Tianyun's eyes are condensed. He has known this for a long time. If the strength is not strong enough, no one will obey. It's useless to say what evil spirits are. Most people are too lazy to pay attention to it, or they are each battalion. It is impossible to regard the asterisk of the gods as the ally. Without strength, what is the ally? Tianyun knows this well, so he immediately exerts a blow to destroy the land and destroys everyone. Not only the outside of the kingdom of God, but even the interior of the kingdom of God, was shocked. This power is too strong. It is much stronger than the previous Tianyun's performance. It is not a level of existence. Immediately, Tianyun returned to the palace. Xuanhuan immediately greeted him and excitedly said, "They will join us soon. These are your credits. Grandpa, I said there is a way." Tianyun will smile. Also on the scene were his mother, who were all very excited. Just the evil spirits, will it really attack soon? Xuanhuan asked. Yes, time will not be too long. Tianyun said seriously. Their expressions are dignified, and their inner feelings are even more emotional. Tianyun shoulders this heavy responsibility. Strongly integrated, it is nothing more than trying to make people die less. This sense of responsibility has made many people unable to match. Child, hard work for you. Nothing, I am just doing what I can do. Tianyun grinned. He didn't care what others said, and he was a good tyrant. As long as he could make a little death at the time of the war. He can't take care of all people, so he has to be united so that he can help each other. Then in the remaining time, each of the kingdoms of God quickly formed an alliance, and the necklace was continuously distributed, and the overall situation proceeded benignly. Many of them were crushed and dissatisfied, and eventually they had to join in. Anyway, Tianyun didn't care what they thought, just join in. Hey, complete the main task, unify the underworld, eradicate all evil spirits in the underworld, get rewards of 60 billion points of experience, crazy value of 6 million points, sin worth 800,000 points. And get a new title, King of the Underworld. King of the Underworld. In the underworld, the damage increases tenfold. Hey, succeeded in taking the main line task to unify the heavens, eradicate all evil spirits in the heavens, and complete the reward of 60 billion points of experience, the crazy value of 6 million points, the evil value of 800,000 points. And won the new title, the Heavens King. The tasks are exactly the same, there is no change, which means that the underworld is to complete the unification, and the underworld is to eradicate all evil spirits. Efficiency is much faster than the real world. The most difficult thing to attack now is nothing more than heaven. Chapter 855 Inches. Have you finally cleared all the evil spirits in the underworld? Tianyun sighed. If the efficiency of the heavens was the same as the underworld, it would be great. Get rid of it. It's just that from the current situation, the progress will not be particularly smooth, and the speed will be slightly slower. Since the heavens have not been dispatched by evil spirits, the overall situation is in a relatively stable state. If there is no sense of crisis, it will be difficult to unite. They are all fighting against each other. The ancient god of the gods' tower in the underworld can give them a great impact, so it is so fast. What can there be in the heavens? It is the function divine kingdom that has been protected too well, that will make them have a bad sense of crisis towards the evil spirit race, thinking that there is no such thing, and even thinking that they will not come to attack. Some are so arrogant that they think that the evil spirit race is here, just blast them out. The matter of the integration of the heavens is basically left to them to handle, and Tianyun stays here. He is now waiting to complete the main task before leaving. Now there is only the celestial realm left. After completing the last main task, it is basically officially over. Soon things did not progress quickly or slowly. Most of them chose to compromise, and a few chose not to join. This is expected, even in the face of overbearing power. There are still some people who do not choose to join. They just want to be themselves as the center and do not want to join any camp. At this point, Tianyun did not use forceful means. Only the kingdom of God needs to use forceful means. If it doesn't work, it will be lured. The plan given by Tianyun is very simple, and good martial arts can be given away as a model. This has allowed many gods to join in. Function gods are so sincere, how can they not do something? As long as the powers of the kingdom of God join in, the rest will not matter. Anyway, their life and death will have nothing to do with them. If you have the ability to guard, then you will keep it by yourself. Even if you kneel down and beg him, it will be useless. In a blink of an eye, a month has passed, and the work on the alliance has been going on 7 or 8, all on the right side. There are still a few difficult to attack, and one of them is the most difficult to attack. It is completely a hard bone. Xuanhuan let go of the layout, marking the details on it. The territory, which divine kingdom is in which area, are all marked on it. Which is the most difficult to attack? Tianyun stood up beside him. He hadn't been idle for a month. Either he was doing alchemy or refining tools. He never let myself be idle. Taking advantage of more time, you can practice other skills a little bit to increase your proficiency. He also wanted to upgrade his mastery of alchemy to the level of creator. Although he has a lot of proficiency now, he can really boost one of his proficiencies in one fell swoop. But for the time being in no hurry, everything depends on the need. Dragon Clan. Xuanhuan shook his head and said, the most domineering force in the heavens is the Dragon Clan. It occupies a very large area, and no cultivators are allowed to enter at will. If you try hard, let's kill it. If it weren't because the messenger was sent this time, it's probably all killed. The dragons are extremely resistant to this alliance, and they don't want to make an alliance with us and want to be alone. Xuanhuan and the others feel very helpless. They can understand why the Dragon Clan resists so much. It's just that too many people are thinking about the Dragon Clan. Blood. This is the same as the Phoenix Clan in the underworld. At the beginning, he was also very wary of Tianyun and didn't like the human clan at all. Too many people are thinking about their blood, how can they not be disgusted? Who would call them beasts? The bloodline power contained in them is so powerful. After absorption, it will greatly enhance many cultivators. Sure enough, the dragons are more difficult to attack. Tianyun squinted and said, after all, the dragons are the same, it is an alien race. At the beginning, many strong people joined forces, among which the dragon family's contribution was not small. Yes, according to the record, the dragon family has a very good relationship with our heavenly god kingdom. After the war, gradually, there is no much contact. If the messenger sent out is not the person from the kingdom of God, he would have been killed. Xuanhuan shook his head. The dragons are powerful, even if they don't ally with us. they can still have the power to protect themselves. This is understandable. If it comes to war, they will also fight desperately. Tianyun poured tea and water for them, with a calm expression, as if he had expected it. It seems that they can only be left alone. There is no way to form an alliance with them this time. Xuanhuan took his teacup and took a sip, feeling a little helpless. I will go to the dragon clan in person later. Tianyun also picked up the teacup and started drinking. Puff! Xuanhuan opened his mouth and spouted tea, looked at him in astonishment and said, "There is no need for that. Exaggerate it. Anyway, the dragon race teamed up with us at the beginning. Even if we don't form an alliance, there is no need to destroy them." Grandpa, you think I am so cruel? Don't join us side, do you choose to destroy? Tianyun smiled. This, Xuanhuan is not embarrassed. Tianyun has always used simple and rude methods to suppress enemies who disobey him. If the dragon clan does not join, he really thought Tianyun would go to suppress the dragon clan personally and frighten them. It's okay, I just went to the dragon clan to see. It seems that the dragon clan should be in any danger, or if it has not been badly settled, then he chose not to join us. Tianyun guessed Dao. Is there anything like this? It's not possible. You reading WW. Ukanshu. The dragon clan has always been very powerful, even if it is not ranked in the ranking of the kingdom of God, but the overall strength is absolutely one of the best. If there is any danger, it is reasonable to ask us for help. Xuanhuan frowned. This is where the problem lies. You have said that we have always had a good relationship with them in Function Kingdom. It stands to reason that even if we do not join, I won't drive people away. Tianyun smiled lightly. I boldly guess that the dragon clan is very dangerous now, not as powerful as it seems on the surface. Not joining us, to a large extent, lies in the fact that no one can be sent to help, and I do not want to expose my problems. Although the relationship between Function Divine Kingdom was good before, who can tell the current situation? If you expose your secrets, you will suffer the disaster of genocide if you are not sure. Grandpa, you don't know that, although they are united against the evil spirit race, there are many aliens among them. They don't care about the evil spirit race, just want to make themselves stronger. Tianyun hit the nail on the head and boldly deliberated it, which made Xuanhuan feel quite credible. If you think about it, it's really possible. If you don't miss the old love, you have to send someone to illustrate. It was an excellent ally at the beginning. Chapter 856. After scrutiny, Tianyun immediately prepared to leave for the dragons, and wanted to see what the dragons are now. Choosing to close, not leaving home, certainly has its own difficulties. It is very likely that there is a danger, or there is a big problem inside. According to the memory left by the King of Heaven, the King of Heaven also emphasized that the dragon is the most determined ally and must join hands with the dragon to fight against the evil spirits. This proves that before the King of Heaven was left, there must be no care for the dragons. It is impossible for the dragon to ignore the old feelings. Similar to the beasts, these have always been empathetic and there is absolutely no idea of betrayal. Now that the problem is so big, it must be flawed. Therefore, after knowing the news, Tianyun decided to go there in person to see what was going on there. After confessing things, Tianyun immediately went to the mainland of the dragon's territory. The land of the dragon's mainland is quite vast, occupying one of the best venues in the heavens. It is said to have many treasures of heaven and earth. Therefore, many people secretly went to the mainland of the dragon to find elixir, but if they were discovered by the dragons, the result would be a dead end. It can be said that the private squad is coming in and will not give them the opportunity to leave. After all, I have already reminded me about it early, and I can't arbitrarily slap the dragon's territory. If anyone rushes in, it's a dead end. If you want to trade something, please come in at the main entrance, instead of sneaking in. If it is a simple transaction, the dragons will not be very repulsive. This is the continent of the dragon, it looks really good. Soon, Tianyun came to the vicinity of the dragon's mainland. Instead of being called the mainland, it is better to call it a relatively large island. Surrounded by seawater, The whole continent is surrounded by a large circle. I don't know if it is artificial or natural. In any case, the area here is indeed vast, but it is not too wide compared to other continents, and can even be said to be relatively small. The dragons like to live here. After all, the place of residence does not need to be very vast. The focus is on the aura that is strong enough, and the possession of heaven and earth is enough. This is the real focus. In particular, the number of dragons is the same as that of the phoenix. It has not been many, and it is relatively rare. But if you say that there are only a few hundred people, or thousands of people, this is unlikely. This is only a small number of people compared to other races. At most, there are more than 100,000, and they all live in the continent of the dragon. Tianyun swept his eyes and immediately took a panoramic view of the large area. At the entrance, there are several dragon strongmen guarding here, watching the surroundings with vigilance, and repairing is not low, all have the level of the virtual period. It's a dragon, and the outer guards have such amazing repairs. But the interior is not as brilliant. This has to go in and see. Immediately, Tianyun flew down, just approached, and the guard immediately alerted him. He looked at him seriously and said, "Who is here? What is the matter of the dragon?" They all took out their long guns and pointed them at Tianyun. They felt a little bit wrong and would immediately kill them. "I want to visit the Dragon King. I have something to tell," Tianyun said straightforwardly. Don't see. Now I will see anyone, and leave quickly, otherwise don't blame us for being rude." The guards were too lazy to listen to what Tianyun was going to say. And they simply went away. Tianyun blinked at them and rushed away without asking anything. It seems that there is a big problem in it. Immediately he did not continue to stay, turned and flew outside. After the guard watched him leave, he gradually relaxed his vigilance. Tianyun did not leave, but after a bend, he hided his body and went inside. He doesn't need to be invisible, or move, just so simple to hide the breath. As long as he does not want people to discover, no one can find himself. Unless the extremely powerful King of God is here, it is absolutely impossible to discover his existence. After he came in, he quickly walked inside, and the spirit immediately covered a large area, and the situation around him was unobstructed. There are a lot of dragon guards patrolling around here to avoid invasion by foreign enemies. However, the forest here is also engraved with a lot of gods, and Tianyun knows that it is the handwriting of the ***** of heaven. Obviously, the relationship between the king of the gods and the dragons is not bad, otherwise it will not help to engrave the big lines. Because he is very familiar. He came in like a home, and he came in easily. As he continued to deepen, the situation inside gradually came into view. There are small villages in the mainland of the dragon, which are scattered throughout most areas, and there are villages in every corner. In the village, there are many dragons living in it. They are not gathered together, but in different regions, so that they can manage the entire continent. The dragon city is in the center area, and a dragon is in the center, but it is not a real dragon, but a statue is here. This is like the previous Panlong cave, with a huge dragon disc there. But here is even bigger, and it also contains the overbearing Longwei. The dragons who came to the house all bowed their heads and walked in respectfully. They did not dare to be rude. It's still thriving here. After Tianyun went deep into the dragon city, the situation here did not fall in the imagination, and the overall situation was good. It's just a little worse than the top gods. The main reason is that these dragons have no aura, feel like they are being pumped, and they generally don't seem to be angry. Strange. It seems that the loss of spiritual power is very serious. Tianyun glanced at them and thought they were quite strange. The eyes of the investigation were able to clearly detect that their power was exhausted. Sitting on the edge one by one, quite weird. If one or two of these are the case, but most of them are in this kind of environment, one by one is like releasing all the power out, and then resting on the side to restore the spiritual power. Immediately after his figure flashed, he plunged to the front of the dragon hall, and the figure flickered and moved smoothly into the dragon hall. Just coming in, he immediately felt a mess of energy raging inside the palace, as if it would break out at any time. Tianyun knew it and immediately knew what was going on inside. It turned out to be the case. His eyes were cold, and the necklace in his hand was flashing red light, which meant that there were evil spirits inside. Only when there is an evil spirit, this necklace will flash red. Inside the Great Dragon Hall, there are evil spirits, which is incredible. Chapter 857. Tianyun walked in step by step. After passing through the aisle, it was a group of dragon strongmen who all released the overbearing dragon power, and the source continued to transport to the front. With the infusion of their dragon power, the front of the big array is constantly shining with dazzling light. The teenager in the middle of the big array constantly absorbs this dragon power, while at the same time suppressing the black energy that is constantly emerging. On the side there is a handsome middle-aged man who constantly controls the dragon power around him and helps to suppress this power. But the more it is suppressed, the black energy, as if it is more arrogant, and even getting bigger and bigger. Ha ha ha, useless. This body will surely become mine. Don't struggle, the more you deliver energy, the more you will strengthen my strength. The black mist that emerged constantly laughed. Dragon King, either kill your son, or your son's body will be won by me. How can you make this demon? You can make you. Long Wang coldly said. I didn't expect you to hide so deep. If I didn't find it right, it was really successful for you. Knowing what? It is too late. Black Fog laughed. I have been connected with your son, and it is a good choice to go with your son. The evil spirits have the power to win, but not the body can be won, just in line with their own energy, plus the other party cannot be too strong. Only a little bit of penetration can complete the fight. It is not possible to get into the body and immediately succeed. This is unlikely. Dragon King's face is dignified. How can he give up his son? The dragon mother who was on the other side looked at her son with tears and shouted at her lips and shouted, You demon, come out from my child. Do you think it is possible? What a perfect plan. Honestly, your son was taken over by me. When I get it, I will become the Dragon King. Unfortunately, it was discovered by you. The evil spirits feel that they are not willingness. Now caught, he can't think he can escape. So many strong people are around, it is impossible for him to escape. Therefore, it is only here that the spurt is sprayed, and it can be the same as the dragon. This is the best result. Father, mother, kill me. I don't want to let the garbage take over the body. Long Xiao bites his teeth. He does not want to be controlled, prefers to die, is not willing to be defeated by evil spirits, to the last consciousness was gone. No, the king will expel this garbage. The Dragon King blinked with gold ons, and continued to control the energy of the big array, constantly slamming the evil spirits, trying to pull the evil spirits out. The surrounding dragons continued to help release the energy into the big array, providing the Dragon King with powerful energy. It is this situation that will allow so many dragons to run out of energy. No wonder the guards are not allowed to enter. Now is the key moment. How will the Dragon King meet anyone? Sure enough, it was almost the same as Tianyun's previous guess. The dragons have a lot of situations and they will not meet anyone. It's not a bad thing, but your son's almost being taken away is already quite serious. It is even possible that in addition to his own son, other dragons are also infiltrated into the evil spirits. As the Dragon King's power continues to advance, and he wants to pull out the evil spirit's soul, Long Xiao's face is getting more and more ugly. This is the feeling of tearing the soul. How can it feel better? Haha, a little stronger. So the souls of R2 will be completely torn. When your son survives, he will become a fool. The evil spirits laughed and did not fear death. If you are afraid of death, you will not attack the three realms. The Dragon King's face is ugly. He is a god, and even his son can't save it. It is really useless. The repair of the Dragon King is not low, and it will be completed in the second layer of the King of God. When the heavenly kingdom has never seen the King of the Kings, the Dragon King is a god. With him a god, it is already equal to the strongest kingdom of God. I thought that there is no in the heavens, and the dragon has a god. Sure enough, the bottom is amazing enough to go across the heavens. However, the dragons did not have the ambition to fight the quartet, and they have always been here, but I am surprised by Tianyun. In exchange for other gods, it is estimated that most of the forces are ruled. The dragons are actually honest here. Who knows that they have been exploited by the evil spirits? Don't worry, the evil spirits who are attached to your son, I can help you solve it. Tianyun came in from outside at this time. Who? In an instant, all eyes were gathered on Tianyun, and the vigilance immediately increased to the maximum. Unexpectedly, there are even more personalities coming in. Immediately on the side of the guard, quickly intercepted, without hesitation to take out the weapon, he attacked Tianyun. No matter what the reason is, as long as they are not their own, they have the responsibility of killing the invaders. Especially in this section, it is not a helper. Stop. Dragon King reached out and motioned for them to stop. The guard immediately stopped the attack, and the spear in his hand was still a little bit, and he stabbed Tianyun. However, Tianyun's expression is indifferent, and he is not worried that this weapon will stab himself. What did you say? Can you solve him? Why do you believe me? Long Wang stared at him coldly. Had to say this, let him have a little heart. Although it may be fake, but what if it is true? Just rely on this. Tianyun reached out and the power of the asterisk of heaven was released. After a little induction, the Dragon King's eyes narrowed. Let's put down the weapon. Don't be nervous, it's your own. The Dragon King waved his hand and gestured to the guard to retreat to the side. The gods of the gods are all their own, and the hostility of the Dragon King is definitely reduced. The guards have some doubts. They feel this power, but they don't know what power they are. But those powerful high-level people know what power is. That is the power of the King of Heaven. The asterisk of the gods is left with a asterisk pattern here. They are naturally very familiar with this power. They just felt it and immediately knew who the person was. This is their absolute partner. How could it be an enemy? Dragon King, I really can't help it. I came in this way. Tianyun apologized. The outside is really not letting me in. I came in this way. The creator of the King of Heaven, I don't know why you came here this time, why? Long Wang wondered. I believe that this is not the time to discuss this matter. Tianyun looked at the little dragon over there. First solve this problem and talk about it. How? Trouble. Dragon King's eyes flashed. His heart filled with hope. Chapter 858. When they learned that Tianyun was the descendant of the asterisk of the gods, the dragons immediately changed their attitudes to prove that they are still very friendly to the King of the gods, and will not become cold because of the passage of time. Tianyun nodded and lifted his foot and went inside the big array. The Dragon King hurriedly waved. Don't come in. The big array here can't come in at will. Others are anxious in their hearts. They want to let Tianyun not rush in, at least wait for them to take back the spiritual power. If you come in at will, you may be attacked by this big battle. Tianyun did not stop in the footsteps, and went straight into the front, and easily entered the big array. Just walking in the area where there is no influence in the big array, and walking step by step to the center of the big array, the energy here has no effect on him. Everyone was so stunned that they just showed their hands and showed such amazing performance. When Long Wang saw Tianyun's performance, his inner hopes were a little more hopeful. If you can't even do this, how can you serve the public? Tianyun stepped forward to the front of the dragon, the soul floating on his head swayed, and at the same time sneered, "Oh, there is a helper. No matter what comes, I want to pull me out from inside. This is impossible. The soul of the evil spirits is quite strong, at least with the level of the Holy King. So you have been given a hole, I do not know where to get in." Tianyun did not rush to shoot, but asked questions. "Hey, why should I tell you this?" The evil spirits laughed. This king guessed that it should be a few years ago, when Longer went out to practice, he was fainted in the Tianyun forest. When we found Longer, nothing happened, but the guards were all dead. People suspected something, did not expect that it would be estimated to be Dizzy Dragon, and then took the opportunity to lurk in. Dragon King guessed next to it. He generally knew the problem, except that at that time, he really couldn't think of where to come in. He has been sitting here all the time, and it is very clear who is coming in, so it is impossible to deceive him. He will stare unless it is outside. This time, Tianyun came in. Naturally, his cultivation was much stronger than that of the Dragon King, and he will certainly not be discovered. It turned out to be like this. It seems that there is a hiding point for the evil spirits in the Tianyun forest. Tianyun sneered. Very good. I didn't expect to come here, but I can also get this news. The soul of the evil spirits swayed a few times, but it was a big laugh. Idiot, do you think we will hide in the Tianyun forest? If you feel there, just look for it. Do not worry, we will go find it. Tianyun said indifferently. Not only the Tianyun forest, the whole heavens have to turn over, and all of your garbage will be removed. Ha ha ha, joke. Just by you. The evil spirits are very disdainful of Tianyun, and do not think that Tianyun has such skills. Long Yu devil, Sut devil, Soj devil, all of them have been killed by me. Do you think that in the 3 realms, how many more repairs are stronger than them? Tianyun said indifferently. No, impossible. The evil spirits suddenly screamed. Of course, these names are clear to the people, and they are very clear. These are all strong people, and they may not know. There is nothing impossible. When you go to hell, you will know when you meet them. Tianyun grabbed his hand and grabbed the soul of the evil spirits. Followed by him, he began to pull the soul hard, and wanted to strip the soul of the evil spirits out. Just when pulling, Long Xiao shouted out with pain, and the souls of the 2 were connected together, so when they were pulled, they were definitely extremely painful. Dragon. When the dragon mother saw her child so painful and wanted to go to discourage it, it was quite dangerous behavior. Their child would become an idiot with a little carelessness. The Dragon King reached out to stop the dragon mother and prevented her from passing. When he comes, now there is only this way, we have no other way. Although I only met once, but now I can only believe in Tianyun. After all, they have no choice but to choose to believe. Anyway, let them do it, the results are almost the same. If Tianyun fails, he can only say that God is so. Haha, useless, so it is no different from them. In the end, it is the same, idiots. The evil spirits screamed in pain, but they still shouted contemptuous words. In his opinion, he has earned as much as he does, so he is not afraid that he will die. Reassured, I am not as stupid as you are. In the hands of Tianyun, there was suddenly a sinister sword, and the soul that was dragged to the past was smashed. When this scene fell in the eyes of the Dragon King, they mentioned it in the eyes of the blind man. Cutting a soul with a weapon is no different from killing. But this is the case, the evil spirit's sword released a black light, so did not enter this soul. Followed by the ease, the soul of the evil spirits was separated from the perfection, and he was pinched into a ball of black ***** floating in the air. As for the soul of Long Xiao, there is nothing at all. Even if there is a problem, it is at most a little rubbed. With a little conditioning for some days, there is no problem. This time, Tianyun raised his hand to lock the evil spirits in his hands, his eyes cold. No, no, how can you cut the soul? The evil spirits shouted in disbelief. They wanted to die together. Now his soul is perfectly cut. You don't know more things. Tianyun turned and looked at the Dragon King and said, this is the murderer who harms your son, and I will give it to you. Saying that it is a stretch of a hand, this group of souls drifted past and landed in front of the Dragon King. At this point, the big array disappeared. They all saw that Tianyun successfully separated the soul. The big battle must be stopped. Everyone in this place was shocked. They were also deeply shocked. I don't know how Tianyun did it. Cutting the soul out, they have tried this, but just touched it and hurt the soul of Long Xiao. How can this be cut? Tianyun's sword, but it is easy to separate out, it is awesome. All of this is the merit of the evil spirit sword. The evil spirit sword is an artifact that affects the soul, has its own unique ability. It is not a problem to cut the soul into 2 segments. The key point is to grasp. Tianyun uses the eyes of exploration to see all the details clearly, and cutting it naturally will not have a problem. It can only be said that the fall of this evil spirit sword is really equal to the treasure of the evil spirits. It is ironic. Chapter 859 Inches. Thank you. The Dragon King did not say too much grateful words. After taking the soul, thank you in a grateful tone. This is enough. The Dragon King cannot be so simple to thank, and there will be a thank you afterwards. This is almost the scourge of the soul of his son. Tianyun must give this soul to him, which is equivalent to giving him a huge human condition. After the soul of Long Xiao was separated, he fainted on the ground. The torture that has always been done, let him reach the extreme of fatigue. After seeing the dragon mother, she immediately ran over and picked up her son. He's fine, it's a bit big, take a break, just fine. Tianyun said next to him. Thank you, thank you. Dragon mother was grateful, and followed her son to the room to rest. The Dragon King first collected the evil spirits and looked at Tianyun and said, would you like a friend to take a break first? No hurry, wait for me to help the Dragon King solve some things. The necklace in Tianyun's hand is still shining red, representing the evil spirits hiding in the dragons, more than one. What? Long Wang asked with a puzzled question, and immediately his face sank. Is it wrong? Yes, I don't know if Dragon King can believe it, let me solve it. Tianyun asked. No problem, even let go. Dragon King didn't have any opinion. He just saved his son and was more useful than what he said. It can be said that Tianyun's current weight is more than the number of the founder of the God of Heaven, or the descendants of the King of Heaven. The descendants of the asterisk of the gods, at most, give a few face, but absolutely cannot talk about great trust. Now that he saved his son, how can he not trust? Immediately, Tianyun swept away and grabbed one of the elders. The elder was immediately scared. You, what are you doing? You have hidden souls in the body, I will help you separate them. With Tianyun blinking, a black meng shot from his eyes, and the power of the cockroaches poured into the head of the elders from his hands. Immediately accompanied by a scream. A dark soul emerged from the inside and screamed. You, how do you find me inside? The evil spirits screamed. His soul is relatively weak, and it is logically impossible to detect it, but it is just a detectable one. After everyone saw it, his face changed, and he thought that only the dragon and the young master would be possessed. I did not expect even the elders to be possessed. All of a sudden, everyone was shocked. Is there anyone else who is possessed? You don't need to know this. Tianyun swayed the evil spirit's sword, cut it with a sword, and completely killed the evil spirit's soul. It would not be preserved as before, as event to the Dragon King. Immediately, he continued to rush to the side, grabbed one of them, and pulled the soul out. The evil spirit's sword swiftly swayed, and without any swearing, it was easily killed. Follow him to continue to rush to other places, grab one to force his soul, and easily eliminate it. The Dragon King who quickly followed the back could see that it was a big shock inside. I didn't expect so many people to be possessed, and they still didn't know it. Almost, basically no. As for the other corners, it is not clear, at least in the main city of Longcheng, there is no half-evil spirits. Tianyun looked at the Dragon King Shen Sheng. Why there will be so many people possessed it? It seems that the physical fitness of your dragon family is very suitable for being defeated by evil spirits. If you don't find it in time, you are afraid of endless trouble. The king also did not think that this would happen. They were too deep to hide. They couldn't feel it carefully. I don't know how. Friends looked at it. Long Wang asked. It is to rely on this necklace. As long as the red light is released, it means that the evil spirits are attached to the body. Tianyun handed the necklace to the Dragon King. I have heard of this necklace. I didn't expect it to have such effect. Dragon King shook his head. Fortunately, you are there, otherwise our dragons will surely fall into disaster. You don't have to thank. Let's deal with things first. Tianyun took out a storage ring and handed it to the Dragon King. There are a lot of necklaces that can be distributed to your people and let them solve them. Generally speaking, as long as you find it in time, you don't need me to shoot it, you can easily solve it. That line, I will accept this, and now deal with this aspect first. Dragon King nodded and said, I wonder how my friends praise. In the next Tianyun, the same descendants of the asterisk 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 of the gods, now the two elders of the gods of the heavens. Tianyun reported his identity. The descendants of the asterisk 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 of heaven, the two elders of the gods of the heavens. The Dragon King said, "Is it the first elder who used to seal the gods and suppress most of the gods?" "Well, it is underneath." Tianyun laughed. "This is really a coincidence. I didn't expect it to be a person who sealed the gods." Long Wang shook his head and said, "Our two countries have always been extremely good. We were immediately besieged and we immediately stepped up. But when we are assisting, you have already solved it. Since you don't want to completely expose the relationship between our two, there is no explanation. At the time, I heard that the two elders of the Function Kingdom were very powerful. I didn't expect it to be an easy brother. This is really amazing." The Dragon King praised Tianyun as a brother, and the representative has already treated Tianyun as the same status. This little thing is not enough. Now that Dragon King has finished handling things, let's talk again. Tianyun laughed. "Well, the Yi brothers go to Yaju to rest first. After I finish the matter, I will go to you immediately." Long Wang immediately arranged for him to take him to the rest place. After Tianyun followed the arrival of the Yaju, he was temporarily resting here, waiting for the Dragon King to handle the matter. After he stayed here for a few days, the Dragon King finally appeared in front of Tianyun, and he looked very good. "Easy brothers, this necklace is really magical. It is simple to find out the evil spirits, and there is no mistake." Dragon King felt very magical, initially worried about whether he would judge the error, and found no mistakes. Of course, this necklace will not be misjudged, only the evil spirits will shine, unless the practitioners swallow the blood of the evil spirits, then say it. If even the blood of the evil spirits dare to swallow, it is disgusting. Under normal circumstances, this is not a mistake. Tianyun laughed. "This time the Yi brothers can save us the dragons. This king is very grateful. After all, this time, the Yi brothers came to the alliance." "Is it a matter of alliance?" Long Wang said the meaning of Tianyun. "It is the Dragon King." Chapter 860 inches. Yes, I just came to form an alliance. Ran. ENW. W. Tianyun said. "I have always heard that our relations between the two countries are good, and it is reasonable to say that they should form an alliance. When I heard that I refused here, I felt that there was a problem. I followed it and came over. Who knows that I found this kind of thing? I didn't expect to be ruined by the evil spirits, and I still invaded the dragon. Yes, I did not expect this point. The evil spirits are not small. I have inquired carefully and found that all of them are fainted and do not know who was attacked. After waking up, they found nothing. The problem is to come back." Long Wang Shen said. "They want to go deep into our dragons and gradually replace them. This is really abhorrent." Tianyun nodded, which was the same as he thought. The status of the dragons is extremely high, and the resources are extremely rich, which is the upper class that is swallowed up. It is impossible for the evil spirits to let go, just to devour the Phoenix family. It is a big supplement for them. How could it not come in? It's too much of a disadvantage to win this game. If there is no value, you won't be able to take possession. This is like so many practitioners, why there are few and no ones to lose, mainly because there is no value. The value of the dragon is extremely high, so it is not unexpected to win it. But the alliance, of course, our dragons will agree, but only to form an alliance with the gods of the gods, and the rest have nothing to do with us. The Dragon King is still so cold, too lazy to pay good to other gods, no interest at all. No problem, we are only a normal alliance here, not to send each messenger to station each other. In fact, when the evil spirits invade, we can unite and make plans to counterattack in time, instead of sitting still. Tianyun said. "This is no problem, it is quite easy to do." Dragon King nodded. "As long as they do not intervene to manage the dragons, these alliances are certainly no problem." Tianyun naturally knows the contradiction in this respect. Most of the forces will contradict, or he is very resistant. Originally it was an alliance. If someone was to intervene in management, this would be too exaggerated. No one would like it. This is equivalent to a stranger in your own home. The stranger is still pointing fingers, and certainly no one likes it. The rest is that this clears the evil spirits, this time to completely remove the evil spirits. Yi Tianyun Shen Sheng. This is easy to handle. I have always been deeply saddened by this evil spirit. I wanted to clear it out a long time ago, but I don't know how to find them. Dragon King nodded and said, "It is much easier to have this necklace now. It will definitely make the evil spirits look like nothing. That line, this area will be handed over to you. I am going to go to Tianyun forest to see if there is any embers there." Although the evil spirits strongly deny no, but since there have been problems there, I think even if it is not there, it will definitely be nearby. Yi Tianyun blinked. This area happens to be an area where 10 stars can't be covered, or the induction is relatively inferior. It is safer to act here. I have this intention, but there are still a lot of things to deal with in the family, or else I want to go with you. Long Wang eyes cold, eyes full of killing. Think of his son and so many people are attached, how can he not be angry? He can't wait to find out the evil spirits' nests in the heavens, and then kill them all, to calm the inner anger. Dragon King, the things over there will be fine. You can handle the things in the family. Yi Tianyun knows the situation of the Dragon King. Even if he has done a lot of things in the past few days, there are still many things do. As for the Yi brothers who saved my son's problems, the rewards. When Long Wang just wanted to pay for his resignation, Yi Tianyun shook his head and interrupted him. This is not necessary. At the beginning, the three realms were in a dilemma. The dragons were great heroes and they held the heavens. It is reasonable to say that everyone owes you a kind of love. Therefore, there is no reward, and the Dragon King can continue to guard the heavens. It is the biggest reward. Yi Tianyun Shen Sheng. When the Dragon King slammed, he nodded and nodded. Well, then I don't have much to say. What is easy for the brothers to use in our dragons? We will definitely help each other. After the talk, Yi Tianyun's purpose here is basically reached. Hey, complete the sideline task. Rescue the Dragon King's son. Complete the experience of 500 million points. The crazy value of 500,000. The proficiency of 100,000 points. At the same time, the total goodness of the dragons is 100 points. Easily experienced, and occasionally do a task, the reward is good. Immediately after he left, when he was about to go outside, a little familiar longman walked over the edge. Yi Tianyun looked at him. After seeing it, he found that this person was really familiar. Yi Tianyun rushed to the past and stopped in front of the person and asked, "Sorry, can you ask a question?" Well, it turned out to be the benefactor of the Dragon Master. I don't know if there is any problem. As long as I can answer it, I will answer you. This person is middle-aged, and he is not weak. He already has 3 levels of the Holy Week. I used to assist the Dragon King in the big array, but when I looked at it with the naked eye, I found that the human race seems to occupy a larger margin. In fact, this is not uncommon. There is only a part of the dragon lineage, but the dragons recognize its existence. After all, this is not the blood of the blood, but the blood that it has. Do you have a son and daughter, called Ren Long and Ren Yuro? Yi Tianyun asked. Do you no longer in Luan? This person is obviously very surprised. Are you really their father? Yi Tianyun's eyes lit up. He saw that this person is quite familiar. Ren Long is a bit like him. Therefore, he boldly guessed whether he would be Ren Long's father. When he came over, it really was. Yes, I don't know what happened to them now. Ren Filong asked excitedly. Their situation is okay, but you have never been back, and you have been very worried. Yi Tianyun sighed, and sure enough they ran to heaven. With their strong cultivation, it is naturally impossible to get down to the world and they will be blocked. Unless it is weakened to a big realm, it will not work. We also want to go down, but the situation is not allowed, you have seen this. Ren Filong feel helpless. This is all right, as long as you are all right, I will go back and explain to the older brother. Yi Tianyun said with a smile. Ren Long is now my big brother. I did not expect to find a second old man on the side of the dragon. This is an unexpected surprise. They have always been worried about their parents' situation, but they never wanted to be here. Chapter 861. Yi Tianyun and Ren Filong had a deep chat for a while, knowing that their situation was not bad, and they all became elders here. Fire. W. 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 If Ren Long comes up, he will be able to go directly to the dragons and do not need to go around. After he went back, he told Ren Long about this matter. If he didn't want to stay in the world, he could come to the dragon. It is sure to be vigorously cultivated here. After all, their parents are here at the elder level, and it is impossible to treat them. In particular, their talents are not bad. If you come here, you will definitely be able to show your talents. After the chat, he quickly went to the Tianyun forest to see what was happening there. The evil spirits gave a leak when they accidentally refused, even though they continued to deny it, but he still heard a little clue. Hurry to solve the internal problem. If it is attacked, it can be said that it is a two-headed attack. Yi Tianyun is most worried about this situation. If he does not first remove the evil spirits inside, if the support of the evil spirits arrives, one of them should be external, and they will suffer. Therefore, he will vigorously push everyone to eradicate the evil spirits, no matter how the internals are not gregarious, how to put down the grudges and destroy the evil spirits. Tianyun Forest is not far from the dragons. It belongs to a good practice place. There are many monsters inside, which are very suitable for some practitioners who are not very high. The dragons prefer to let the tribes go there to practice. The beasts there are not high or low, and there are quite a few good medicines. Therefore, not only the dragons, but also many other practitioners have gone. At the extremely fast speed of Yi Tianyun, he soon came to the vicinity of Tianyun Forest. He didn't know if there was any leaking wind on the dragon side. In short, the sooner he came to solve the problem. The Tianyun Forest is really strange. Yi Tianyun's eyes lit up. When looking down from the sky, the forest is so strange that the more it goes inside, the more it goes down. In the central area of the Tianyun Forest, it has turned into an abyss that leads to the bottom of the earth and grows below the ground. Those towering trees grow directly on the cliffs of the abyss, not one or two, but grow down densely. If you accidentally fall, it doesn't matter, as long as you climb down the trees, you don't need to fly. After he came here, his eyes glanced and immediately took the situation around him into his eyes. There are many practitioners who pick the elixir nearby. This Tianyun forest is too broad, and Yi Tianyun can't see the end when he looks up. However, although there is a treasure of heaven and earth here, no one dares to be here as a territory. There are so many monsters here, and it is still difficult to defend against sneak attacks from all around. The terrain is very unfavorable. Therefore, there has been no power here, but it is faint to see that there are abandoned cities here, which proves that it does not work here. It can only be temporarily stationed here at the most, and it is unlikely that it will be here for a long time. If you hide here, it is really difficult for 10 stars to cover this side. Yi Tianyun looked up at the sky, and the 10 stars covered the area did not reach here. The King of Heaven is not really a god, only one area can be controlled. However, this is already quite powerful. At least it can suppress a region as its own territory. Whoever breaks into his territory can easily kill anyone. The area just covered by 10 stars is a very good location, and most of the practitioners are acting in this area. When he first came here to explore, his eyes swept away and immediately locked in a distant area, where he immediately sensed the evil spirits. In the area there are several practitioners looking around for the elixir and want to hunt here. Is there a medicine in this area, so close to the exit? Zhao lived around and saw a pile of trees, and could not see half of the grass. If you continue to go deeper, our strength is not enough. You can only try your luck outside. When you encounter a powerful monster, do you stop? The other one screamed at China and immediately looked at himself. Xiao Shimei said, "Do you say that it is, Xiao Shimei?" The little girl looked around with vigilance and said solemnly, "Brothers, be cautious, don't be hippie and smile. The master taught us to be careful. Small sister, you are too exaggerated. How can it be dangerous outside here?" Smiled to China. "Whenever you are, be cautious. Xuanhuan said coldly. Yes is. Seeing that the younger sister is so serious, the two brothers shook their heads helplessly. The little sister of the family is so good, that is too cautious. The three of them are not high, only the period of the spiritual period, intend to look for the elixir here, or to hunt some low-level monsters. This is the most basic practice. If you can't reach the standard, don't go back to the teacher's door. Immediately, they did not take 2 steps. The younger sister quickly pulled out the sword and stared at the front and said, "There is a situation." Scared the two brothers to rush to prepare, followed by the discovery that a middle-aged man was in front, let them suddenly speechless. Small teacher, calm, is a road friend who just passed by. He shook his arms to China and said, "This friend, are you here to practice together?" "Almost. I came to hunt. I am really embarrassed to scare you." The middle-aged man smiled and looked like a human and childless expression. The younger sister is a little relaxed and alert, at least not the monster, and the practitioner is a little relieved. "Nothing, then, come back. What are you hunting here? Is it the Chinese beast that month?" Zhao Huo asked. "No, it's hunting you." The voice just fell. The middle-aged man suddenly emerged with 2 arms behind him, and quickly killed Zhao live, opened the huge mouth and swallowed here, not waiting for the other party to react. The big mouth can accommodate Zhao Huo's head, and I want to swallow this Zhao live. Escape, escape. This scared them to rush to escape, but their speed will be as fast as the other side. The other party is obviously prepared, and in the blink of an eye, Zhao has already swallowed up. Zhao Huo was scared and pale, and fell to the ground with a squat. "Save, save me," Zhao Live shouted in horror. Towards China, they pulled swords to the monster, but the evil spirits were faster. 2 arms were added to the back of the 2 arms. They pulled them and took them out. "You go to the side, and it will be your turn soon. Finally, I have some food, and it looks delicious." The evil spirits laughed and continued to open their mouths to Zhao Huo. When he was about to swallow it, a figure had already flashed to him, grabbed his head and pressed it to the ground, and he stunned and almost fainted. "It's really hard to get a job. Just come and find a way." It is naturally Yi Tianyun who comes to the rescue. "I thought it would be hard to find, but after discovering an evil spirit, everything is easy to handle. After the charm, isn't it easy to take the road?" Chapter 862. Yi Tianyun suddenly killed, and immediately controlled the evil spirits, and scared them all. Fire. When W. This can be said to be a **** soldier, and suddenly saved them. Zhao lived and looked at Yi Tianyun. He had already despaired. Now he saw the evil spirits who were going to be swallowed up. After being controlled, he suddenly breathed a sigh of relief and felt the rest of his life. The same is true for them in China. They are all looking at Yi Tianyun. I don't know if they are enemies or friends. If one goes, and it is more ferocious, they will die. Tawa, their legs are soft. I don't know how to be good. They are still sitting on the floor. They were all beaten by the evil spirits, and now they are so squatting on the ground that they can't move. "Small, little sister, should we run away immediately?" shouted Tawa. "Do not run this, so as not to irritate him." The younger sister's face was white and was scared by this scene. "But if you don't run, if he wants to eat like the monster before, what should I do?" Xuanhuan said his fears. "If we eat, can we escape?" Xuanhuan shook her head and thought of the speed of Yi Tianyun. They couldn't see clearly. How could they escape? Immediately, Yi Tianyun lifted up the evil spirits, and his eyes flashed a fine man, and he looked at the evil spirits. "Look at me." The evil spirits were full of shocks. When they looked up at what Yi Tianyun wanted to say, they immediately looked like a whirlpool. Their consciousness was quickly involved and gradually disappeared. "Very good." Yi Tianyun nodded with satisfaction. The evil spirits were not high, but only the Wadden period, but it is very easy to hunt and practice the cultivators here. It is definitely their meal. After controlling the evil spirits, I turned to look at the 3 people and said, "I urge you to leave quickly. Don't stay here, it's not so safe." After he finished, he grabbed the head of the evil spirits and flew away. They left the 3 people who looked at each other. They all thought that Tianyun would do something for himself. Who knows that there is nothing at all? It's all because they are passionate about themselves. In fact, Tianyun will not do anything to them. What is his head, so powerful? So easy to subdue the monster. The monster said that there is a level of Wadan. He was shocked to China. Take him what he is. As long as he doesn't shoot us, I just thought I was finished. Zhao lived and shivered, recalling the mouth. He felt that he was afraid of a nightmare for a long time. Xiao Shimei looked at the back of Tianyun's departure, and the beautiful flashes. No matter what comes, he is our savior. The two of them looked at the eyes of the younger sister and shook their heads. This is obviously a confession. I didn't expect them to be so desperate, not as a passerby. Tianyun, after catching the evil spirits flying away from here, came to the remote area and put the evil spirits down. Where is your old nest? Tianyun asked. At the bottom of the Tianyun forest. The evil spirits replied truthfully, and he did not have the power to refuse. It really is hiding at the bottom of the Tianyun forest. This answer is not unexpected. The place where the heavens are so far away, the Tianyun forest is very good. There are so many beasts here, and there are often practitioners coming over, which means that there is always food coming. Can they not stay here? Especially the 10 stars here can't detect this, so it is definitely a paradise. Under the leadership of the evil spirits, they quickly flew forward, passed through the layers of forest, and finally came to the hollow of the central area. It is like being smashed down by a huge meteorite, and then it is like a huge pit. It looks very spacious. It's just now full of trees and it looks so spectacular when it's bare. Along the way, Tianyun asked about the general situation, such as how many people are hiding underneath, and what to plot here. People can know that there are many evil spirits hiding underneath, but there are fewer pure breeds. Purely, there are roughly no more than 10, and the most powerful is up to the level of the Holy King. The descendants are all cultivating and rejuvenating through the cultivation of cultivators. As time goes by, their number is increasing, eventually reaching a very amazing value. These evil spirits have just been born. They will not be allowed to touch their own mother and mother half a step. They will immediately be taken outside for devil training. Force them to hunt the monsters, or kill the practitioners, and cultivate them into extremely fierce evil spirits. In short, there is basically no humanity at all. Even if there is a bloodline of the human race, there is no point in meaning. It has long been cultivated into a very ferocious evil spirit, and will only obey the orders of the evil spirits. For example, the evil spirits that are now seized are a complete human race, but they are swallowed up together with the ethnic groups. Originally, he still wanted to catch the woman back, so that he could reproduce. I never thought that someone would kill him halfway, and he would give him a kill and kill him. Is it the same as those who were not like the animals before, rushing to plunder women of other races to go back and multiply? Thinking of that picture, Tianyun's eyes are full of killings, and the speed of rushing is getting faster and faster. At the same time, the nature of the investigation around the situation, there is basically no problem. There are cultivators around, and if they continue to do so, they will either become food or they will be caught in the bottom of the abyss. These evil spirits are estimated to wake up with dreams, so many practitioners are in the vicinity, a steady stream of rations. It's just that Tianyun's heart is getting more and more angry. I didn't expect to be hiding here. Immediately, he quickly went down. At the bottom of the Tianyun forest, there was also an extremely wide area below. There was also a lush forest growing in the ground. Even without a trace of sunshine, it grew very lush. In the corner of the bottom, there is a special tunnel leading to the underground. Going down is the place where the evil spirits are hiding. The evasion area is really careful, not the strong one who is proficient in the gods, and can't find this entrance. Tianyun can find this entrance even if no one leads the way, but this can only be found under his powerful strength. This hidden technique is really clever. It is worthy of being a foreign strongman. If I am not strong, I can't find it. Tianyun's eyes flickered, and the eye of exploration quickly penetrated into it. After finding one of the safe points, reaching out was a group of evil spirits that were caught and smashed, and then burned into a pile of fly ash. Following the flashing of his figure, he moved to the open space inside the ground. After entering the inside, the eyes were dark, and in this dark space, Tianyun passed a red on in the eyes. This is killing. Chapter 863. After Tianyun came in, he needed a half-leading guy, and he easily killed it. After quietly coming in, his spiritual knowledge instantly covered the area and carefully explored the situation in all areas. The powerful spiritual knowledge of the king, it is easy to cover all, no difficulty. He just didn't want to be a stunned snake, and he didn't want to let the animals go. His cultivation is very powerful, but it cannot be forced to suppress. After all, there are still many detainees who are being held here, and certainly cannot be freely suppressed. If there are evil spirits inside, Tianyun's backhand is to suppress it and slap them to death. This is undoubtedly very easy, but they have captured a large number of practitioners. He can only sneak in to save people. His figure gradually disappeared, and when he sneaked into the darkness, there was a laughter in the depths of the passage. The few practitioners I just caught, one is more stupid than I saw. I thought I was a person. I just fell asleep with them and they were a race. It was disgusting to me. Oh, that's right. They are more stupid than one, and they think that we are the same kind, and we have no wars. I just caught a few women, and this time we have to play again. Every day I can catch a lot of practitioners. These practitioners are really stupid, thinking that they are killed by the beast. The last batch of people also brought masters, saying that they want to find the body. Who knows, this is so cool, take them in one breath. I have to give it. I think of the taste of those people before. It is really good, it is in line with my taste. One by one, there are many practitioners locked in the cages on their side. Both hands and feet are tied, but also the ribs and tendons are picked up. Even if they are locked, it is difficult to escape. Most of the survivors are mainly women and children. As for the men who have been eaten by them, they will not stay. As for the child, it is not necessary to raise the child. Instead, when the child is hungry, he will devour the child. The children are more delicious, they must be slowly tasted behind, and they are not in a hurry. They are lying there is no anger in their eyes, they are completely desperate. Their coming are not weak forces to practice. Who knows that they encounter a group of monsters, so that they are trapped here. You monsters, the master will help me revenge. One of the women shouted, her eyes full of anger. Yes, you monsters, even if we die, the master will help us revenge. It will kill you monsters, a bunch of garbage. The master will come and save us, then you will die. Some are desperate, some are just being caught. So they all have great expectations for their masters, and hope that their masters can find them. Haha, it's another group of idiots who are daydreaming. If your masters come to the best. We don't have a lot of strong people coming over, and we all grab them and eat them. It's a big supplement for us. Yes, shouting loudly, you shouted your throat and nobody cares about you. They burst into laughter. They are the caretakers here, and occasionally go hunting. The real dish is naturally in the area inside, just outside the cage. It is much more convenient to set the cage outside. Grab it and throw it into the cage, then return to the headquarters. Therefore, the cage is quite spacious enough to accommodate thousands of people. This cage is basically not full, because when the number is not enough, it has already been taken to food. Yes, useless. The practitioners who did not know how long they were being held were desperate, and they all wanted to commit suicide. But after suicide, there is no use, it will be eaten. They all witnessed the practitioners next to them, and they were all given a little bit of food. They felt sick when they thought about it. However, it is still difficult to commit suicide. They are all practitioners, and it is not practical to bite their tongues. Basically, they will not die. The desperate atmosphere gradually enveloped this area, and it also affected the practitioners on the side. They had hopes before, and now they saw the practitioners who were caught on the side, and their hearts followed. Can't you really escape? Continue to shout. Why don't you shout? The evil spirits squinted at this side. They just wanted to hear the roar. The other side was getting better and better, and there was nothing to do here. Hey, hee hee. At this time, the footsteps came step by step, and the walk was quite heavy, and immediately caught their attention. Hey, who is back? I don't know if I will bring back many practitioners. If there are a large number of people, I can now eat them at a point and beat the teeth. The evil spirits also licked their lips. Followed by their appearance, not the same family, but Yi Tianyun, who came step by step. Just appeared, they looked at them coldly, and their eyes were full of killings. Who are you? When they saw Yi Tianyun, they immediately alerted themselves. They quickly added a weapon in their hands and swept away to Yi Tianyun. This strange face is obviously not their own. Their number is not much, and the faces will remember. Yi Tianyun stretched his hand, and the empty nails pinched their necks and lifted them up. They kept shaking their feet in midair, and they could only make a yeah sound in their mouths. They couldn't make other sounds. Can't shout. Immediately, Yi Tianyun waved another hand, and, hen duo, a lot of crisp sounds came, and the chains that tied them were turned into a pile of powder and fell on the ground. The cages that held them were turned into a pile of fly ash. They were all dumbfounded, and the sudden changes made them stunned, and they didn't react to what happened. They all thought that they were dead, and they could not survive. Who knows that a teenager has emerged, not only to liberate them, but also to control these guards. Kill them. Yi Tianyun took out the 3 evil spirits who had been lifted up, and their powers were banned, and even the sound could not be heard. The practitioners who had been detained for a long time, full of shocked eyes, immediately had a little more anger. They scribbled things and went to the evil spirits who fell on the ground. If there was nothing, they punched and kicked. Anyway, they wanted to vent their inner anger. Although they haven't eaten for a long time, they have been tortured, but when they broke out, they were more powerful than one. The evil spirits of the 3 stages of the Dan dynasty were killed and killed. With Yi Tianyun reaching for a trick, 12 figures appeared in front of him. It was the 12 gold chai. They are all stunned. They used to be practitioners. How suddenly appeared here? Chapter 864 inches. I have handed it over to you here. Whether you are coming in, or the evil spirits who have escaped, they are handed over to you for disposal. You can't talk about it. Yi Tianyun glanced at the stunned practitioners and added, they are with you. The same, they are all abused. As for how to think, it is your business. After the 12 golden plaques saw them, the original cold eyes immediately softened. Seeing the same experience as their own, they naturally can't get up. After the explanation was clear, Yi Tianyun went straight to the depths of the inside. It seemed to take a step and the next moment disappeared into the eyes of everyone. After Yi Tianyun left, a group of people looked at the direction of departure. Who is he? Savior. They looked at the entrance slyly, followed by the 12 gold scorpions. I don't know what Yi Tianyun said just now. 12 gold crickets did not say much. They took out food and all kinds of clean clothes, and put them on or eat. At the same time, I was talking about what was trapped on the side. After Yi Tianyun entered, he walked through the long walkway in 3 or 2 steps. After crossing this aisle, it was a huge staircase that went down, and the lapse of the circle continued to linger. It is simply after leaving the corridor and coming to another abyss area. Who are you? The guard on the side was rushing to raise the weapon and attacking it, but Yi Tianyun reached for a shot, and the guards turned into ashes, and there was no residue left. Yi Tianyun lifted his foot and walked forward. Looking down the bottomless hole in front, he found that the bottom was actually a huge array. If you watch it carefully, you will find that this big array is a big transmission. Unexpectedly, in the depths of the bottom, there is a transmission array. This made him feel very surprised. I don't know where this transmission line leads. But what happened now made him feel very angry. There are several blood pools on this transmission side, with many bodies inside. Visible to the naked eye is the corpse of the practitioners. The steady stream of blood goes down the lines of the big array, and then fills the entire transmission. On the side, there are 3 evil spirits who are presiding over something, constantly thinking about words, like singing. Yi Tianyun frowned, and he jumped on it. He slammed on the transmission array with a bang, and the transmission array was stepped down and directly discarded. On the side of the host, the three evil spirits were directly attacked by the earthquake. The screams did not come out and they died. It can even be said that even people can't see what is going on, and they have turned into flying ash. These three evil spirits are not low level, and they have the level of the Holy King. They should be the three of the five evil spirits that existed before. Tianyun is too lazy to pay attention to their lives and deaths. Kill them to death. You, who are you? The familiar words are ringing in the ears. Besides this sentence, is there anything else to say? Tianyun turned his head and looked at it. There were 5 thrones on the side. 2 of them sat on it, and they were all graded. 5 dead, 3 people. Of course, only 2 people left. They saw that Tianyun suddenly appeared, and they stunned their companions with 1 foot, scaring them to fly. They all know that the cultivation of their companions is so shocked to death that it is enough to prove how terrible it is. Who am I important? Tianyun reached out and emptied, and the 2 of them were immediately lifted up, letting them twist, and they could not break the shackles of Tianyun. After the 2 evil spirits were dragged by Tianyun and came to him, Tianyun looked at them coldly and said, "Why are you painting a transmission array here?" "Oh, we will not tell you if we die." They are not afraid of death at all, although they are ferocious, but they have to say that they are very angry. Don't say. Tianyun reached out and grabbed the head of one of the evil spirits. The powerful soulless search spirit immediately displayed it, and extracted the memory in the evil spirit's head. In the past, he was relatively low level, and it was a little difficult for the Holy Age practitioners to display their souls. Now it is different. It is relatively simple to repair the soul, and even if you can't find all the memories, at least there is no problem in searching for the part. After a while, the head of the evil spirits suddenly exploded, and together with the body, it exploded. It really scared people. Well, I found a lot of news. It seems that you have arranged this transmission array and want to send it to the underworld. Tianyun shook his head and said, "It seems that the underworld is really your paradise, but your people in the underworld have already it's dead. Even if it's gone, it's useless." What? The evil spirits were stupid. When they didn't know what was going on, Tianyun grabbed his head and began to search for the soul. The memory he got was not comprehensive, so he wanted to look it up again. When the evil spirits were searched for memories in madness, their eyes were turned white, and it was soon 7 bloodshed, which looked terrible. Dealing with them, Tianyun has never stopped. After a while, the evil spirits' ancestors were also dying, and the speed of the search was so embarrassing that they could not bear it, and the result was a burst. Tianyun blinked and noticed what was going on. They just want to open the underworld transmission array and wait for their peer rescue. Since they can only be active in this area, they have been dug up a deep pit, where there are many evil spirits living here, perfect as a hiding point. Old ancestors. The movement here is quite large, so there are evil spirits coming down from above, and any races are mixed, even the blood of the dragons. Obviously they caught a lot of people coming over. It is really abominable. After they saw Tianyun, they immediately glared with red eyes. You actually killed your ancestors and worked with him. A group of people have long believed in the 5 ancestors, completely brainwashed, and cannot be saved. It is time to end. Tianyun stepped on the foot, and when he slammed, he flew upwards, and immediately went back to the channel with his backhand. The huge palms were pressed down from the air. The overbearing giant palm made the channel into a powder, and the evil spirits in the room did not react, and they were completely dead. With the sound of the system popping up, Tianyun's eyes are full of resoluteness. Perhaps he has killed many other ethnic origins, but sometimes he should be a bit worried. They have been thoroughly brainwashed, and the body has a bloodline of evil spirits, and the ferocious wildness is difficult to remove. Chapter 865. After Tianyun shattered the place, he quickly left the passage, and there were also many bodies outside. It is obvious that the evil spirits ran up from below, or just happened to be someone, but they met the 12 golden plaques and were easily solved. The repair of the 12 golden plaques is very strong, and the minimum repairs are all graded, so they can be solved as long as they are not above the spiritual level. Withdraw from here. After Tianyun came out, he glanced at them and took the lead to leave. A group of practitioners have followed suit. With the help of the 12 golden plaques, they have recovered a lot of physical strength, so they can quickly catch up. Only some injuries are more serious, and some people need help. Tianyun did not speed up his footsteps, but slowly walked outside. He is not in a hurry now. The situation here has been solved. It is reasonable to say that he will be relieved, but he is frowning. A few months later, can you get there? Tianyun's face was gloomy and terrible. When he searched the memories of the two guys, he found a very terrible thing. That is, these evil spirits contacted their own family through the transmission line. I did not expect this transmission array, in addition to want to lead to the underworld, but also the effect of the communication array, can contact the people of the ancestral land. After the contact, the other party said that a strong reinforcement has been sent, and the time is up to 3 or 4 months, and the shortest or even only 1 or 2 months will arrive here. It means that there is not much time for the arrival of the evil spirits. In just a few months, there are still many things that need to be laid out. It's not too long to know that they've just started the operation. After the overall cleanup, there are still things that need to be dealt with. Who knows that it is only 3 or 4 months, and less than half a year, this time is too fast. It can be said that there is nothing to do between the fingers, basically it is coming. This matter must be spread out quickly, and the 3 circles will be notified. This is not a joke. There is no time left. Even if there are any grudges before, I have to let go now. If you still compete for power or something, you don't know how to die. It seems that we have to fight against the clock. Tianyun didn't expect to come so fast. He thought it was still a long time. It seems that the other party can't wait any longer, and he is attacking crazy here. If this wave is supported, they can continue to guard the 3 realms. If they lose, then everyone must be finished. After going out, Tianyun waved their hands and they were brought along with them. They didn't need Tianyun to hold them, they could easily fly up. In fact, it is very easy to bring people to fly when they are trained to be strong and spiritual. It's as simple as bundling them with invisible spiritual power and then dragging them up. Under the leadership of Tianyun, they quickly left the area. When flying out, Tianyun put them down and said, "You can leave on your own, there is no danger here." Some of the practitioners' eyes were surprised and they all left the place quickly after thanking Tianyun. Most of the rest were in front of Tianyun and did not leave. What do you mean by this? Tianyun frowned. We want to follow the benefactor. Before the sisters told us, now our relatives have already been killed, and we only want revenge in our hearts, want to kill all the evil spirits. Yes, the only motivation we have now is to kill all the evil spirits, so please accept the benefactors. They all squatted on the ground and begged Tianyun to take care of themselves. They had nowhere to go. Their loved ones have already been plundered, and they are eaten a little bit in front of them. The mood is extremely angry and desperate. Now they are alive, but they have lost the motivation to live, just want revenge. In addition to revenge, it is still revenge. Master, we will be responsible for training them, will not give the owner a little burden. 12 Gold Chai immediately stood up and begged. They all have the same experience, do not need too much communication, and have a great understanding between each other. Good. Tianyun looked at them and said, "You have your own power, and they do not object to them, but correspondingly, you should take good care of them." "We will." 12 Gold screamed in unison. "Very good. Give you the task now. Kill the evil spirits in this area. How to believe that you are clear?" Tianyun blinked. Guaranteed to complete the mission. 12 golden eyes were full of surprises, and they immediately stood up, with those injured quickly leaving the area, and some looking for a place to rest. These people are handed over to them for management, equal to the 12 golden symbols. Hey, successfully conquered the flower month as a god, gaining 500,000 experience, madness of 20,000 points, proficiency of 20,000 points. Hey, successfully accepting Yufang as a god, get. At this time, there was a constant pop-up of information, and they all became gods. Tianyun looked at this information and didn't feel any surprise. If they chose to follow the 12 golden symbols, they would be equal to themselves, so the reward would naturally belong to him. Tianyun looked at the back of their departure and stepped on the foot and disappeared into the area. In the area of Tianyun forest, the powerful evil spirits have been killed, so there is no need to worry that they will be in danger. Therefore, he will let them go to do this task. Killing the evil spirits here is their task, and at the same time those new training tasks. In a twinkling of an eye, Tianyun soon returned to the **** of the gods, and just saw his grandfather. He hurriedly said, "Grandpa," quickly issued orders, "Gather all the alliances, there are extremely serious things to announce." He is now going to announce the situation of the evil spirits coming in. There is not much time left, and it is necessary to start the operation immediately. Is it the evil spirits to attack? Xuanhuan is not a fool. Looking at Tianyun's expression, he knows what happened. Yes, at most 3 or 4 months, it may even be shorter. Tianyun said truthfully, "That's good, I will post the information now." Xuanhuan was shocked, but now he can only fight. Tianyun's eyes burned and he clenched his fist and said, "This is a battle for the backwaters. I just hope that the evil spirits who come here are not too strong." If he came to an evil spirit who was extremely incompetent, he couldn't help it. Chapter 866. After the information was released, many of the kingdoms of the country came one after another, and basically did not dare to be scornful. After all, the 10 stars of Yue are still there. Who dares to resist the gods? The Function Kingdom has always been famous, but as time goes by, it gradually begins to decline, and prestige begins to shrink. But overall, it is still quite daunting. Fear is a fear of the premise. The premise is to come to the Function Emperor, but outside is not too afraid. Now that Tianyun has exhibited the power of terror, the earthquake has ravaged them, and they have not dared to have a slight resistance. If they resisted, the 10 stars would be suppressed, and their emperors would immediately vanish. The strongest forces are gone, what do they still play? The most prosperous is the imperial capital, the emperor is gone, where can you resist? Soon they all gathered together, the lowest level is the empire level, no 3 forces came. It's not that you look down on the 3 forces, but the number is too much. It's okay to let the empire issue the order. This is definitely a lot simpler. Easy to the Lord, this time we summoned us, I don't know if there is anything. They all looked over, but looked at Tianyun's eyes a little more, because what really shocked them was not Xuanhuan, but Tianyun. They know that the real power is Tianyun. Of course, it will not be Xuanhuan. This is for our 2 elders. Xuanhuan gestured to Tianyun to explain the situation. The situation is relatively simple. The evil spirits are ready to invade. This time, I don't know how strong the enemy is. But it will never be weak. There is more than one conservative estimate in the level of the king's period. Tianyun said heavily. A level above God's king. Is this still a conservative estimate? They are all stupid, and their faces are white and white, which is quite a shocking thing. You can see horrified eyes between each other. If it is true, they are not facing great danger. Yes, I am only a preliminary conservative estimate. It is possible that there will be more. Before sending 2 batches of strong people to take over, they were all intercepted. This 3rd batch will only be more than before. I am talking about a strong king. Just let you have a mental preparation. According to my estimation, there are at least 3 or more. Tianyun said indifferently. Even later, the level of the king's period will not appear. It will appear. As for the level of the Holy King, it is equal to the cabbage, and it is coming up. This is not a joke during the meeting, but it is really possible that there are more than 3 kings, and the Holy King is absolutely Chinese cabbage. He guessed that at least dozens of sacred kings were coming. For the 3 realms, there are fewer strong kings, but for the outside world, it is equal to Chinese cabbage, which can be seen everywhere. They face each other and don't know what to say. The news is too big for them. I thought what the Confucius Congress said, such as what integration plan, who knows is to say such a terrible thing. How much time does this have for us? A nationalist asked the key questions. The longest 4 months, the shortest 1 month. Tianyun said truthfully. What? The people stood up in shock and the chairs could not sit still. This time is too short. So short to make them unbelievable. When I think of it in such a short period of time, I will arrive here, and everyone will panic for a moment. If they are ordinary evil spirits, they will certainly not worry, but if they face many kings and sacred kings, can they not panic? Easy elders, I don't know if there is any basis for this. Among them, the head of the country is dignified. I feel that the news came too fast, too strange, and I don't believe it. Before I went to the end of a sinister collection, I knew through the soul search. Tianyun said indifferently. Say, I don't know if they are casual and chaotic. In fact, it is not so fast. One of the owners himself comforted. Even if it's been a year and a half, or if it's been a decade, they will always come. Tianyun looked at him coldly and said, we are prepared in advance, what is the problem? Everyone looks at each other and sees different eyes from each other's eyes. Some are unbelievers, others are shocked, others are fears, and all kinds of moods are there. Among them, there is an untrustworthy part. They all think that Tianyun wants to use this crisis to control power in his hands. However, they did not say it in person, but they all chose to nod. Now I suggest that you all be prepared. The detailed strategy is up to you. After all, this time the other side is coming, it is possible to come in through any region. We must know where to come in and make a good response strategy. Tianyun directly give them the designated strategy and decide on the elders of Xuanhuan. It is not that he is the pickpocket, but many of them are there to know how to lay out the strategy. After all, this time it is not that he fights alone, but the entire heavenly battle. But I propose a little. Please be sure to take the instructions of the gods of the heavens. Tianyun said the most important point. Without the Lord controlling everything, it is very easy to mess up, so you must assign a good job. Is it what you want? What are we going to give? One of the kings asked, unable to resist. Yes. Tianyun said simply, I am against this. If you abuse your power and arbitrarily mobilize our resources, then it will not be attacked. Are we not dying? One of the owners thought of this matter and felt very uncomfortable. In the alliance, I said, we need absolute power, don't you know? Tianyun looked at him coldly. But I can't do it. If you listen to you all, are we not finished? Yes. I also support Lu Yuguo. If we all give up our resources, it is not a big loss. They expressed great dissatisfaction with this and thought that they might abuse their private rights and evacuate their resources. If you don't listen, you can now get out of the league. When you don't squat, ask us. Tianyun looked cold and directly said a word. He is too lazy to use the name of the Savior to suppress them. That is, love can't come, and if you don't come, let him go. Okay. This is what you said. I don't know if you are talking about it. It is not the truth, it is to scare people with a crisis, so we can plunder our resources. Exit and quit, we will not regret it. Each one chose to stand up and even chose to withdraw from the league. Xuanhuan, they all looked to Tianyun. Do you really let them leave? Chapter 867 inches. Yes. If you want to go, you can go now. When you are in your situation, we don't care, what is it? We are not the savior of the gods, we can't manage so much. Tianyun waved his hand and was too lazy to talk to them. Say a sentence. I said it was clear before, but now it is rebounding. This matter is not beyond the expectation of Tianyun. The cohesive force is so bad that it is gathered together by pressure. If it is only forced to threaten, then it is even more dangerous. Therefore, Tianyun is too lazy to pay attention to them. He is not a savior. Since someone wants to die, it is no wonder that he is. We are not rare. It has been here for so long. What evil spirits can't say it is not allowed to come? Yes. Let's go now, it's a waste of time. There is one person who opposes it. Others are bold enough to leave the league and do not intend to join the alliance. In the blink of an eye, 4 or 5 heads of state chose to go to the alliance, but this is only a small part. Most of them did not choose to leave, but chose to wait and see, or they would like to listen to Tianyun's words. Tianyun glanced at them coldly. The rankings of these kings are not low, and some are even in the top 10 powers. Among them, the country's leader, who was one of the best, chose to sit there calmly and said nothing. Either wait and see, or just choose not to leave. Well, don't send it. Tianyun indicated that they can get out of the way. This kind of person does not need to keep it. After keeping it, there is no gregarious existence. Hey, let's go. The 4 or 5 nationals are not willing to give their own gods to outsiders, and they do not want to follow their orders from Tianyun, especially the words of Tianyun. It is a conspiracy to say no, a reason for plundering resources. They are definitely not willing to do this. They only think that they are stupid, they are really smart. After they left, Tianyun looked at the head of the country who was staying here. He calmly said, "Who else wants to go? Staying here, it is equivalent to acknowledging what I said, all instructions must be absolutely obeyed." Exclamation mark quote. We will definitely obey the words of the gods of the heavens. This time we come, the emperor has already passed, and must obey the instructions of the gods of the heavens. The head of the mad kingdom of the gods smiled slightly, expressed willingness standing next to Tianyun. We are also willing to stand next to the gods of the gods, and the emperor has also passed us. The former leader of the dragon kingdom of the second also reported a friendly attitude and chose to stand here. Other heads of state who want to leave, they are all shocked. I did not expect that the top 2 nationals in the past were actually the first to see the gods. Why is it the previous ranking? Now the power of Tianyun has been revealed, and the ranking has changed suddenly. In the hearts of all people, Tianyun has defaulted to be the strongest ***** in the heavens. Now that the 2 great kingdoms have chosen to stand, some swaying kings are now determined to choose to follow the instructions of the gods. It seems that you believe me. Tianyun laughed. This is exactly what the emperor said all the time. The ***** of the heavens was the first of the heavens. It was the first of the heavens, whether it was once or now. Since we have said this, how can we not be a bit? One by one is better than singing. Tianyun squinted at their expressions. He knows that all are foxes. It's nothing more than to see the big picture. Everything depends on the situation. Now let's say it first, then what happens? It is the most stupid behavior to directly tie the relationship. I know that all of you here. There is still some doubt in your heart, or that we will be deprived of anything. Tianyun said, to tell the truth, we have no interest in your resources. It is integrated, and mutual support is the key point. Or else you will be in a hurry, even if you have more resources, it is for the evil spirits. No matter what they think, Tianyun can't see through it, but staying behind and continuing to follow their instructions is the best result. That is natural. One country leader nodded. The horror of the evil spirits, they have not seen it, but the ancestors have recorded it. It is clear that this is clear. With Tianyun, he gave the right to speak to Xuanhuan and said the general layout. Soon after the meeting was over, Tianyun did not stay here, but immediately rushed to the realm and the underworld to announce this matter. Before leaving, Tianyun urged them to continue to intensify efforts to eliminate the evil spirits and destroy the evil spirits of the heavens. This is the current focus. Others don't know if the evil spirits have been eliminated. Tianyun is very clear. After all, the tasks have not been completed. Of course, the evil spirits have not been eliminated. Although those are allied, but because of the previous alliance, the completion of the task will not be reduced. Otherwise, he is afraid that it will reduce experience, but it will reduce the task completion. Soon when he came to the mortal world to announce this, everything went very smoothly, and all of them were dominated by them. Immediately began to prepare to resist the evil spirits. No one chooses to leave, or do not believe. The underworld is even simpler. It's just like your own home. After the announcement, they all agree with Tianyun's statement. If you want resources, you will come out and give it up. This gap is really too big, mainly because the heavens have suffered too little damage from the evil spirits. The detriment of the realm and the underworld is more serious, and all know the terrible nature of the evil spirits, so they obey the orders of Tianyun. It seems that sometimes people are too comfortable, but it is difficult to unite. Yes, the rest is almost. Tianyun stared at the sky. His next task is to see the entrance to the three realms. Of course, the three realms have an entrance passage, but if you want to go out, you will not be able to leave the three realms without strong strength or powerful treasures. It is like being trapped in a cage. Without strength, there is no way to break out of this cage. Immediately after he stepped on the ground, he turned into a sharp arrow and flew to the sky. The area where he is now is the realm. Everything in the world has a passage to go out, and it is still closed. It should be said that there is a passage to leave in any place, but only behind the three great kings. The gods cover a large sky. This is equivalent to forming a protective cover to resist the invasion of outsiders. Under his tactics, a sky pattern appeared in the sky, and began to form a whirlpool channel slowly, and this is the passage to leave. Chapter 868. After the passage was quickly opened, a swirling passage appeared, and Tianyun quickly drilled inside. After entering the passage, there is a dark hole in the front, like an unknown area. He quickly flew forward, and after passing through the passage, it was dark. There are a lot of stars outside, and there are countless planets floating in the sky. This is outside the three realms. There is no air, but this is not a problem for him. There are countless boulders floating around on the side, and I saw several dark vortexes. This dark whirlpool gives him the feeling of dying after he has gotten into it. Beyond this whirlpool are countless rocks, forming a wall that surrounds the surroundings. After he quickly flew out, when he turned back and looked back, it was a huge planet in front of him, but the planet looked strange and even divided into three layers. This is the three realms. The upper is the heaven, the middle is the world, the bottom is the underworld. The layers are stacked and now covered by a thick layer of clouds, from which you can clearly see the inside. After Tianyun broke through to the Xuanhuan period, all aspects were greatly increased, and his eyes could be seen far away. At a glance, he can clearly see that Xuanhuan is busy with other things. Many of the gods in the underworld are constantly gathering and arranging transmission points in various places. The transmission point is definitely to be arranged, and it takes a lot of effort. This is the reason why the alliance is formed. Each region must be equipped with a transmission array. There will be a lot of support in the transmission array, far more than flying. The protection of the real world is really fragile. Tianyun looked up and down the protective cover. Although the shield of the boundary was added with many layers of shields, it was generally more fragile. The main problem is that under the two layers of the heavens and the underworld, the middle layer is a little stressed, and it seems to be weak, which makes it more fragile. To this end, the three kings of God continue to bless the shields of the world, so that the shields of the world are stronger. However, how to bless? There is no way to be stronger with the other two circles. Tianyun looked at the heavens and the underworld, and the heavens were 10 stars, covering a large area. At the same time, it also formed a large array of protection, firmly wrapped around the heavens. The underworld is the weakest area on the edge, with a tower of ancient gods, and once it is close, it will be sucked in immediately. Tianyun can feel this powerful suction. If anyone is close, it will be sucked in immediately. This will definitely not be divided against me. As for other areas, they are relatively hard, and it is difficult to break through. It is mainly a thick layer of protective cover, which is difficult to break through. However, it is difficult to break through. It does not mean that you can't break through. You can break through with a little more effort. However, this protective cover is not just a protection, but it can also counterattack. If you come to a few kings, I am afraid that it is easy to break this shield. Tianyun shook his head and felt that the difficulty was not great. This time, if you come to a strong god king, break it completely. No problem. This is basically the same as the dummy, and it has no effect. I only hope that this time I will be weaker. Tianyun sighed and looked at the three realms that were extremely perfect. It was the best protection before the three kings left. Immediately, he turned his head and looked out. It was dark outside and surrounded by rocks. It is reasonable to say that there is no way to find it here. After all, it is blocked by all kinds of rocks, and the black vortex that looks terrible can be turned into natural protection. Tianyun quickly flew past, without a little resistance, easily flew forward. I looked around all the way, and in the end, in so many rocks, I found a safer road to go out. In so many places, there is only one place where you can enter and exit at will. If the rest of the place flies, I am afraid that it will be smashed into the shackles, or it will be taken in by the black whirlpool. Tianyun turned his gaze into the black whirlpool, and the eye of the investigation showed detailed information. Black swirl. Super suction. After being sucked in, it can be easily torn into pieces after it is not strong enough. Warning, warning. Black vortex is a huge danger. Don't get close. This also issued a warning, which means that if he is close to his current strength, it must be dead. This black whirlpool is really scary. It is estimated that the space is broken. If it is close, it will definitely die. Tianyun refocused on the import and export, and now is covered with a layer of gods. Put here, block it. This way, looking in from the outside, it is like having no entrance, and even seeing the situation of the three realms. There is no doubt that this is the big array that was laid here before the three great kings left, blocking the invasion of foreign invaders. It's just that the situation doesn't seem to make any sense. The big battles have been destroyed by 7 or 8, and the effect is minimal. Obviously it was the destruction of the second group of evil spirits. It was estimated that when they just came over, they flew to the underworld, but whoever knew it was sucked in. Set a big array here and say. Tianyun quickly flew to the gap, fell in the rock, began to engrave the gods, so that a large array. Soon he carved a psychedelic array here and temporarily blocked it. He knows that at his current level, he cannot deceive the evil spirits perfectly. Those evil spirits obviously know the strongholds here, so it is useless to cover up them. They all know the position here, and there is no way to cover them. What he needs now is to make a mark. If someone destroys it, he will be reminded immediately. This is the point, so that he knows that someone has come in and let him immediately declare his preparations. At that time, he will kill first, and he will play with them one time. How much can be reduced? Yes. Tianyun was deeply sighed. He arranged a few lines of gods here, and sealed it here. It is not an easy task to arrange large arrays on these rocks. It is often flying. If you are in the middle of the world, the impact is no less than being attacked by the king of the king. On the way, he was smashed several times. If he was not thick, he was estimated to have been smashed into patties. After repeated inspections, he determined that there was no problem and then flew back and did not continue to stay here. Waiting now is the evil spirits coming, ready to fight a deadly battle. Evil spirits come, how much I kill, how much we kill in the three realms. Tianyun's eyes are cold, and the inner war is raging. Chapter 869. After setting up the big array, Tianyun quickly returned to the heavens and began to search for the evil spirits. He now wants to complete all the tasks. He didn't want to make extra money, he just wanted to solve the internal things first. However, the heavens are basically mobilized, and most of the practitioners are looking for the evil spirits. This is his order, which is equivalent to the order issued by the gods of the gods, so it is very crazy to find. After a general search for a week, I finally wiped out all the evil spirits that had been hiding. This process is really difficult enough, one by one to hide, and still hide in several places. Mainly before the Tianyun took the old nest, so they will rush to find a place to hide, who knows where they can escape the pursuit of the entire heaven. They are indeed hidden deep, but because Tianyun joined the search, everything has become simple, and at most it takes a little time. Hey, complete the main line task, unify the heavens, eradicate all evil spirits in the heavens, get rewards of 60 billion points of experience, crazy value of 6 million points, sin worth 800,000 points. And get a new title, King of Heaven. King of Heaven. In the heavens, the damage increases tenfold. There is no change in the title effect, it is a geographical difference, and overall it is extremely easy to use. With this, you can make his combat power turn up many times. Hey, succeeded in taking the ultimate mission of the three realms, to withstand the invaders of the outsiders, destroy the other side, and complete the real three-zone unification. Complete the reward to get 200 billion points of experience, crazy value of 10 million points, sin value 10 million points, proficiency 10 million points. And the three titles are merged and become the new title, the God of the Three Realms. The ultimate mission. Tianyun's eyes are condensed, and this reward really has to be said to be tempting enough to be the most rewarding task ever. However, the ultimate mission of the Three Realms, this is indeed the first time I have seen, representing the ultimate mission in the Three Realms. It seems that now is waiting for the coming of the war. This battle can only win, cannot lose. Tianyun blinked, and immediately began to prepare, such as refining weapons, and arranged a large array with them. The Three Realms have entered an unprecedented unity, all of which are changes brought by Tianyun, and have not had such a strong cohesion for a long time. Time passed quickly for a month, followed by 2 months. Everyone's heart was tight, and there was no slack. Tianyun is also the same. The big array does not know how much, and the weapons are a lot of refining. Resources have been provided, let him refine. Because of this change, his 3 proficiencies have soared and gone up, and finally went straight into the realm of creators. Hey, congratulations on your success in entering the final level, creator, refining. Hey, because you have successfully upgraded all 3 occupations to the ultimate level, you get the title of all-round proficiency. All-round proficient. No matter the level, improve the success rate of 2 layers. And this stuff. Tianyun emerged from this versatile mastery after gaining the ultimate level of creator. However, he did not care. Anyway, the refining things are now in scope and do not need to be very strong. He is now the main refining sacred device, and the artifacts are less refining. Basically, they are mainly based on holy devices. After all, the artifact material is too rare, and the materials used to refine the artifacts can refine dozens of holy weapons. Although the artifact is much stronger than the sacristy, it is necessary to know that this is a group battle, and the comprehensive strength required is not a separate force. However, if you are a strong man, you must fight with the artifact. Among them, he is a little selfish, so that all aspects of the world should be slightly armed. The main reason is that the power of the realm is relatively weak, so it is necessary to take care of it. Although the world is fragile, it is the most difficult to enter. This seems to be very contradictory and in fact not contradictory. Because when approaching, it is easy to be swallowed up by the ancient ***** tower, or by 10 stars to suppress. It means that if you want to forcibly drill in, you need to break through the ancient tower and 10 stars. The 3 great kings are not fools. They have long known that the world is more dangerous and it is impossible to not strengthen. This reinforcement does not need to strengthen anything in the mortal world. As long as the madness strengthens the heavens and the underworld, it is a compromise. The shortcomings of the realm are too obvious, and they can't easily change their own skills. They can only choose this method to solve them. The fragility of the realm is destined to leave too many strong people to maintain in this space, which means that too many powerful people are coming in, which easily leads to the destruction of world space. Now that the rules have been stabilized, the Lingwang period will have to choose to leave the real world. Unlike before, there is a very strong presence. Of course, unless there is a situation like the last time, an old man is not enough blood and has a long life, so he will not be forced to go to other spaces. Therefore, Tianyun is slightly biased towards the real world. Nothing will definitely be broken, so it will be strengthened. Otherwise, there will be problems. Finally, after a month, Tianyun's body in the refining room was shocked, and the refining medicinal herbs in his hands were too lazy to take care of them and quickly moved. The evil spirits are coming, ready to fight back. A few simple words were introduced into the heads of many nationals, followed by the arrival of the world and the underworld, and said these things. Everyone was shocked in the heart, and all of them stopped at the head and watched the sky with vigilance. Unexpectedly, after just 3 months, the evil spirits finally came to commit. At the same time, in the outer rock pile, a huge incomparable ship directly hit and shattered a pile of rubble into powder. The rock that was originally enough to hurt the king of the king, did not hurt this huge ship. What is this ghost place? There will be a death whirlpool. General Long looked at the black vortex outside and frowned. He didn't expect to have a death vortex, so he carefully avoided the black whirlpool and even smashed it at random. The stone ship of the stone does not dare to approach this black whirl. Immediately, the spirit ship came in easily, and General Lund looked back and saw a scorn in his eyes. What is the ghost garbage array? And I want to cover up the situation here, it is simply an idiot. Then the garbage is everywhere. Can they kill them? It seems that they have been waste to this extent. The evil spirits have all come in, and the war is on the verge. Chapter 870. After the huge spirit ship struck in, many evil spirits saw the three realms in front of them, and their eyes suddenly brightened. WWW. It's a good field, the concentration of spiritual power is low, but its core is quite perfect. If you dig this core out, adults will be happy. General Lund's eyes brightened. Of course they did not value it. Resources, not to value the cultivation place here. These places of cultivation compare their places, and even 1/10 is not as good. They are looking at the core of these three worlds. This core is to maintain the core of the operation of the three realms. If this core is dug away, the result is obvious, that is, the three realms have completely collapsed. It is difficult for all life to survive outside. If you want to survive outside, you need to be very strong. This level requires at least a level above the spiritual level to survive temporarily. This is a temporary survival, not a permanent survival, and even a long time to survive. This is the reason why the three great kings set the shields, and they are not allowed to go out at will. At the beginning, some people were sure to fly freely, but they died outside without leaving. They can't fly far away by the flesh alone. The speed of the spiritual king is too slow. It is estimated that it is impossible to go to the next planetary field, and it is already halfway through. Not only is it too far away, but there are many dangers around it. It's just that the stone is enough to make them into meatloaf. Therefore, the three kings of the king will let the qualifications for the exile of the king be repaired. If they are unable to go out below this repair, they will be intercepted. According to this situation, if the core is dug, less than 1% of the practitioners will survive temporarily. As for what can really survive, it is estimated that 1/1000th is possible. Tianyun has seen it outside. There is basically no life at all. It is also unsafe to escape from this stone array. As for where is the next life area, who knows? At the same time that they came in, Tianyun had already come out of the three realms, and saw the spirit ship that had turned into a profitable arrow to make him squat. Spirit ship. Unknown grade, unknown effect, unknown ability. The comprehensive combat power is 1 trillion. The power that a soul ship has penetrated has reached the level above the level of the king of the gods, reaching $1 trillion effect. The eye of the exploration cannot analyze the effect inside, which is what surprised Tianyun. It seems that it is necessary to upgrade the eye of the exploration to know more, and the spirit ship has exceeded his knowledge. This means that this is no longer an artifact, but a higher level of existence than the artifact. The evil spirits seem to be absolutely bloody, and it is absolutely necessary to win these three realms. Unknown spirit ship, intercepted. Tianyun blinked, and the hands of the evil spirits quickly appeared. This is his strongest weapon at present, and the rest are artifacts, but those are not artifacts. He must intercept it in advance, and if he let the spirit ship run through, he will definitely wear the three realms. Reporting the general, there is a personal family in front. The repair should be at the early stage of the king, not too high. The former intelligence officer immediately said, I don't know the human beings who live and die, but I don't bother to pay attention to him. If you rub a little bit, you can turn him into ashes. General Longte sneered and dismissed the populous practitioners. In his view, the practitioners in these places are indigenous, what strength can there be? Immediately, the spirit ship has increased its strength, and the speed has turned into the ultimate speed of light. Throughout this place, I want to ignore Tianyun who is in front of them, and penetrate into the three realms. After becoming a through mode, the combat power began to soar, and it was no longer the previous trillion combat power, but became 1.3 billion combat power. Fully increase the combat power of 300 billion, horrible. You think. Tianyun's eyes are cold, the crazy mode of the body is running, and the combat power is blasted in an instant. 32 times damage mode. Turn on. 800 billion combat power. 900 billion combat power. 1 trillion fighting power. ... 1.3 trillion combat power. 15,000 billion combat power. 1.8 trillion combat power. Finally, under the superposition of 35 times of damage, the combat power actually exploded to the strength of 18,000 billion, directly crushing the existence of the explosive power of the spirit ship. The violent breath was released from his body, causing the distortion of the surrounding space, and it was crushed by this force. This is the most powerful level of his current outburst, and it is not the limit. If you stay in the 3 realms, you can also increase the damage by 10 times, but he must intercept the intruder outside, to minimize the damage. At the same time, his body began to grow wild and turned into a huge evil spirit. The violent black inflammation is violently raging around, and he wants to ensure that the evil spirits living in a space can be easily eliminated by themselves. Immediately he rushed up, raised the evil spirits in his hand and slammed it down. The evil spirits break the border. The low-pitched voice came out of his throat, and the huge black sword ran through the front, as if it had turned into a long black whip, and wanted to smash the soul ship into 2 sections. How powerful is this power? The evil spirits who controlled the spirit ship were shocked, and immediately shouted to their companions, "Fast, fast! Fasten the power to the maximum, this power is beyond the power of the ship." But everything was too late, the eruption was just between the fingers, and the dark black whip was heavily pumped. Boom! The power of terror exploded on the ship, but did not break the soul ship, but was pumped out. Crazy in the air, the top is covered with black inflammation, rolling upwards and swallowing. Among them, the penetrating power directly broke the protection of the ship, and continued to suppress it. Hey! One evil spirit madly vomited blood. Even if it was not dead, it was seriously injured. Many of them are relatively close to each other, and they are directly killed by the earthquake. These are also evil spirits of the Sacred King class. Just under such a shock, the earthquake will burst into a blood fog. However, this did not end. Tianyun flashed a figure, quickly came to the side, once again slammed into the air. There is no meaning to stop. He is ill and wants his life. Another heavy pumping down. Bang! The soul ship was pumped out, and inside it was a lot of evil spirits were blown into a blood fog. However, the spirit ship was still not destroyed. Only 2 deep traces were seen on it, but the spirit ship was not blasted. This spirit ship is really hard. It is hard and terrible. It's too hard. I don't believe it can't blow it. Tianyun's eyes flashed. He needed this rhythm.
Chapter 871 Terrible Power. When Tianyun wanted to fly the spirit ship again, a figure suddenly appeared in front of him, stretched out his hand, and the black sword light that had penetrated was bounced into countless black rays of light. Was blown away. This is a powerful combat power of 1800 billion, so it can be easily blocked. The terrifying power makes Tianyun's eyes shrink. He dared to say this trick even in the face of the peak cultivation base of the Divine King period, it can be suppressed. This means that the opponent who appears, the cultivation base is not that simple. General Longte. The cultivation base is unknown, the martial arts possessed is unknown, the weakness is unknown, the equipment on the body is unknown, and the comprehensive combat power is 2 trillion. In an explosive state, 2 trillion combat power. Tianyun's eyes flickered. The General Long in front of him no longer had 8 arms, but 10 arms. It means this level, I am afraid it is not the cultivation base of the God King stage, but the cultivation base of a stronger level. There is a stronger level than the God King. What level of cultivation is that? Tianyun didn't know. His current detecting eye couldn't detect it, unless it was an upgrade to update the information, otherwise it really couldn't detect it. However, upgrading requires a lot of crazy points. There is no need to do this for the time being. I would rather use it to upgrade other martial arts, or upgrade other magic skills, which is more cost-effective. The detecting eye is nothing more than showing detailed data and knowing the detailed data of the opponent, which is of great help to the battle. It's not necessary for now, he just needs to know the opponent's combat power, a full 2 trillion combat power. Amazing cultivation base, coupled with amazing equipment, creates this terrifying combat effectiveness. Sure enough, there is an extremely powerful existence. Tianyun is not timid, but instead is high-spirited, preparing for a big battle. General Long looked at him up and down with a grim expression. He didn't expect such a terrifying powerhouse here, so he didn't expect it. If he hadn't hurriedly come out and intercepted it, his spirit ship would be ripped apart, especially if the people he brought with him were all dead. What else would he fight? I didn't expect that there are such strong people here. No wonder they will die here. General Long looked at him coldly and said, but that's it. You killed so many of us, even if you kneel down and beg for mercy and choose to surrender, you all must die. Are you evil spirits so arrogant? Tianyun and General Longte looked at each other, with killing intent in their eyes. Are you arrogant? You won't know in a moment. General Longte shouted. Crash in and knock me away from the protection of this area. Report to the general that the controllers of the spirit ship are dead or seriously injured. We can't control it. Someone immediately heard the voice. Asshole. General Long's eyes were cold, and he immediately shouted. All the army will get out of the queue, kill me and occupy this area. As soon as the words fell, countless powerful evil spirits emerged from the spirit ship. The lowest level of cultivation has the Spirit King stage, and the highest reaches the God King stage. Tianyun swept his eyes and immediately saw the general situation clearly. There are as many as 3 strong kings who came out. There are more than 100 strong in the Holy King stage, and even more than 1,000 in the Spirit King stage. If General Longte is included, it is already a powerful and unmatched army, enough to suppress the existence of any force. Not as friendly as I thought. There are too many strong people sent out, and there is no problem in capturing the 3 realms. But this is for the previous, but now Tianyun is well prepared. Yes. A deafening noise came from above, and vast energy fluctuations spread throughout this area, and immediately they went to the 3 realms rushed away. Tianyun didn't hesitate to aim at the evil spirits coming to the side, slammed a sword fiercely, and the domineering black light flashed away frantically, aiming all at once. Dozens of powerhouses in the Holy King period. The amazing long-range effect of the Cthulhu suit can kill these beasts from a distance. The evil spirit swallows the sky. With a light stroke of General Longte's 10 arms, a huge evil spirit appeared on the side. The hideous expression seemed to really be a huge demon, floating in the air. After turning into a wall, it resisted Tianyun's attack. Boom boom boom. After hitting these evil spirits, the violent attacks detonated one after another, and both the explosion did not show which side was stronger. But it means that Tianyun can't cause harm to them, and can only let them rush down. Your strength is good, but it is still a lot worse. Your opponent is me. General Long took out a huge wand. They all like to use wands. It's a simple stick, but the level of this magic wand can be seen a top-grade artifact. Deserving of the general attack, the equipment is too sophisticated, and terribly sophisticated. He took out a weapon casually. He could detect it, but it was a top-grade artifact, and the gap was not small. Really? Tianyun's eyes flashed and he quickly released his clones, and the 3 clones quickly went to the Holy King period. The level cultivation base rushed past, and the crazy killing mode was directly carried out. Why? General Long saw the clones, his pupils shrank, and he picked up his wand and waved them towards the clones, hoping to explode the clones. Under the swing, a dazzling black light was released from the magic wand. With his ultimate power, countless evil spirits and skeletons flew forward quickly, every evil spirit. Skeletons are enough to destroy the world, and when they touch the rocks, they can easily swallow them. When I was about to bite Tianyun's clone, Yu Red Wuanshu. A jet black sword light shoots at a faster speed, and red energy is entrained in it. Boom. The evil spirit skeletons were cut into 2 in this way, and the domineering sword light continued to penetrate forward. Kill a piece of the strong evil spirit race who wants to penetrate into the 3 realms. Didn't you say that your opponent is me? Tianyun exudes the breath of the dragon god, and the dragon god bloodline is stimulated by him, and the power is superimposed again. Out to achieve incredible combat effectiveness. Especially since the crit effect was triggered just now, the combat power immediately exploded to 23 trillion combat power, reaching an unprecedented combat power against the sky. How could it be possible to become stronger? It was not his limit just now. General Long's face sank. He thought that Tianyun's previous move was already the limit damage, did not expect to continue to improve, beyond his expectations. At the same time he was shocked, the three avatars had already plunged into the piles of the holy royal stage evil spirits, and began to carry out frantic killings. Although there is only Yi Tianyun's third-tier combat effectiveness, judging from the current situation, there is no problem with killing them at all.
Chapter 872 Sword Saint Suit, Open. Ding. Successfully killed the evil spirit race. The third floor of the Holy King period gained 26.5 billion points of experience, 1.4 million points of madness, and 200,000 points of evil blood, the bones of the evil spirits, the soul of the evil spirits. Ding. Successfully slay the evil spirit race. The second floor of the Holy King period gaining 23 billion experience points, madness value of 1.2 million points, crime value. Ding. Successfully slay the evil spirit race. Fourth floor of the Holy King period gain experience. Ding. Yi Tianyun basically bought all the experience cards, including crazy value cards, since all the value cards were used. Among them, the experience card is as high as 345 times, plus 32 times the experience stack, reaching 377 times. As for the other crazy values, they all have more than 20 times the stack, which is enough to reach the point of crazy. How could so many powerful saints and spiritual kings be let go? To be crazy, you have to be absolutely crazy and smash all the experience cards down. He knows that the gap with General Longtae is not small, and he can even feel that General Longtae has not exploded with all his strength. If he does not raise his cultivation level, the difference between the two, the gap is difficult to make up. Just relying on the crazy mode, there is still no way to resist. Although returning to the three realms will increase the damage tenfold, if possible, he does not want to fight in the three realms at all. After all, this is a battle at the God King level, which is enough to destroy the world. He didn't want to see the three realms. Even if he had won, they would become riddled with holes. The three avatars slaughtered frantically, which can be described as a complete crush. But no matter how crazy, there are only 3 clones, and the rest are too lazy to pay attention to their companions, and they all flood into the 3 realms. Their order was to occupy the 3 realms, not to support their companions. Soon many of the evil spirit races of the Spirit King period and the Holy King period level were crazily close to the 3 realms. However, when they were about to approach, a huge dragon whizzed in, and the dragon came fiercely to swing its tail, and flew out a group of evil spirits. Those who were drawn directly exploded and died. If you want to go in, you have to pass me first. It was the Dragon King who came out. He was transformed into a real dragon, with a huge body capable of defending the heavens. The other side rushing to the underworld, suddenly another figure appeared. The figure that appeared was an old body, holding a cane, and seemed to step into the coffin at any time like. I didn't expect to be able to participate in such a big battle in my lifetime. I kind of miss the moment when I fought against the ancient God King. The God King of the underworld came out, but even if he broke through by the time of God's royal stage, he will have a deadline. In fact, he is not the cultivation base of the God royal stage in the sense, just like the ancestor who broke through to the holy royal stage cultivation base before, there is no way to increase his cultivation base. Because they are not truly breakthroughs, there is no improvement in their lifespan, but they are indeed infinitely close to the God King in terms of the power they master. After he appeared, his body burst into flames, burning his body, and quickly turned into an extremely young body. In the blink of an eye, he became an extremely handsome young man, and the crutch in his hand turned into a long sword without knowing how long. The intruder is dead. His gaze turned into a sharp sword, and he waved the long sword in his hand, continuously harvesting lives, trying to stop their invasion. This old man, Yi Tianyun, had explored before, but he was buried underground. Since he didn't come out to harm the world, he ignored it. When he felt the invasion of the war outside, he woke up from his deep sleep and used his last bit of energy. The opponent has a strong combat power, and they are also not letting go. One is crazier than the other, and he definitely takes his own life. It seems that your fighting spirit is quite strong, but do you think we are the only ones? General Longtae sneered, "Smash them for me." At this moment, a large number of powerful saints of the Holy Kingdom suddenly burst out of the spirit ship. 100, 200, 300, More than 300 Holy King stage powerhouses have emerged one after another. Each level is not low, and they have reached the relatively late stage of the Holy King stage. It just seems that they are indeed weaker and not as vigorous as the other companions. Obviously, too much energy is consumed on the road to cause this situation. There is no doubt that these Saint King stage powerhouses consume energy on the spirit ship, and this happens. Now forced to be helpless, can only choose to rush out to fight. Swallow them all to replenish our energy. Each of his eyes is shining, already hungry and thirsty. I want to all the lives in the three realms were swallowed. If you swallow it, you will be able to restore a lot of energy. The original number was scary enough, but now there are 300 more powerful saints, which really makes them all dumbfounded. How to play this? Are there so many powerful saints in the three realms? The answer is no, at most it is more than 100, and no more. There are more than 300 or 400 Saint King period powerhouses here, just like Chinese cabbage. Upon seeing this, Tianyun suddenly trembled in his heart. If they all rushed in, even with so much protection, it would be difficult to stop them. Once they all enter, then it will evolve into a terrifying massacre. Buy the Juggernaut suit. Ding! Successfully purchase the Juggernaut suit. Deduct 1 million points of sin. Juggernaut set, 50 equipment, can be transformed into Juggernaut. All long swords within 10 miles of high-grade holy artifact level are controlled by themselves, and can be controlled at most 10,000 long swords. With the sword array, 10,000 swords are unified, consume 100,000 points of madness, detonate all weapons, burst out the power in all weapons, and kill the enemy. This is a set of equipment of the same level as the Cthulhu suit. Since it is mainly engaged in group battles, he has never used it. Now it's different. With so many evil spirit race cultivators, he must have exchanged it, otherwise he can't get rid of so many evil spirit races. Give me equipment. Tianyun instantly equipped the Juggernaut suit. The body immediately changed into a white dress, the original appearance of an evil god, and thus became a white-robed sword saint, with two sword lights in his eyes. Come on. Shoo! The artifacts were pouring out of the three realms one after another, and at the same time, many of the holy artifacts in his storage ring flew out one after another. He had already prepared. He knew that the other party must send a lot of people, so he prepared a lot of weapons just to match this Juggernaut suit. Suddenly, thousands of sacred swords were floating beside him. Give it to me. Tianyun flicked his finger. Flying swords of 10,000 sacred artifacts. To those saints the power of the royal stage runs through, and every power contains terrible combat power 200
billion level combat power. This is the ultimate combat power that the sacred artifact can withstand. If it continues to increase, it will explode. Now there are tens of thousands of swords, which means there are tens of thousands of swords with 200 billion combat power.
Chapter 873. Cool. Thousands of sacred weapon-level flying swords were madly shot at those evil spirit races in front. Each flying sword tore the space, and the surrounding space was cut into a huge gap under this domineering force. After the flying sword passed by, the space was pierced with hundreds of holes, and it seemed to collapse at any time. This is every flying sword containing 200 billion combat power, enough to break through the stars, and it is destroyed wherever it goes. This scene scared the spirits of the surrounding spirits to fly, so the terrifying flying sword penetrated here, and you could feel a breath of death from far away pass it over. What a strong power! The Dragon King and the others lit up. They wished Tianyun the stronger the better, and killed these beasts. General Long's face suddenly changed. He didn't expect that someone could control so many flying swords at once, and his overbearing power was enough to crack mountains and rocks and destroy the world. Stop it! General Long yelled, and immediately rushed to intercept Tianyun's attack. However, tens of thousands of flying swords quickly dispersed. Even if the speed is not as fast as General Longte, there are so many flying swords. The densely scattered quickly spread around, and reaped the evil spirit race in front. There is no need to kill the powerhouse of the Holy King stage. As long as it is the evil spirit race, it will be harvested frantically. After all, it can reduce a little. There are not enough tens of thousands of evil spirit races on the scene, so many flying swords can attack them at will. Shoo! A sword light penetrates, and wherever it goes, the huge body of the evil spirit race is sieved into a sieve. The dead can't die again. Ding! successfully killed the evil spirit race, the third level of the Spirit King period, gained 2.6 billion points of experience, 140,000 points of madness, and 30,000 points of evil. Obtain the blood of the evil spirit. Ding, successfully killed the evil spirit race, the fourth floor of the Holy King period, gained 30 billion points of experience, crazy value. Ding, so many flying swords slaughtered frantically, quickly harvesting many lives. The three great King phase evil spirit races who were playing forward on the side, their faces sank, they could only turn back here to resist, and flew out the long swords one after another. Break it to me, one of the demon gods roared, and slapped them with a fierce blow. The claws in his hands flashed with black rays of light, 5 lemons whizzed forward along with his wave. Boom bang bang. After the 5 daggers passed, they just hit 3 flying swords and 3 holy artifacts. The level flying sword was just like that, torn to pieces. The weapons they use are not ordinary products, they are all standard mid-level artifacts. However, after the sacred artifact was broken, it was supplemented by a flying sword. It does not have to be at the level of the sacred artifact. The level of the Horcrux is still powerful and can kill the evil King's stage evil spirit race. If the Holy King's level is not high, it can still be suppressed. Ding, congratulations to the player, Tianyun, for successfully breaking through the third floor of the God King period. Under the frenzied killing, soon his experience soared. He had already gained a lot of experience, but he gained a lot this time. Therefore, it was quickly upgraded, reaching the 4th level of the King of God stage, and instantly the fighting power soared again. Boy, Hugh is so arrogant. The figure of General Longte flashed, and he had already killed him in front of Tianyun, slamming hard lift the wand in his hand and smash it down here. He originally wanted to intercept these flying swords, but if you think about it carefully, the releaser is Tianyun. As long as Tianyun is killed, everything is over. After the wand was smashed down, it instantly locked the surrounding space. If you look closely, General Longte released a black golden glow on his body, giving it a feeling of black gold. The original body suddenly doubled. This time General Longte was really serious, and Tianyun completely angered him. The combat power is 2,700 billion. Tianyun's eyes condensed, this combat power can increase so much at once. Immediately made him feel great pressure. He didn't wear the Cthulhu suit now, which greatly reduced his combat effectiveness. The Juggernaut suit is very powerful, but when fighting solo, close combat is undoubtedly very disadvantageous. Both defensive power and speed dropped drastically. When Tianyun wanted to dodge, he found that the surrounding space had been completely locked. It's like there is an invisible wall around him, and he is firmly sealed inside, and there is no way to escape from here. Move. Tianyun's eyes flashed, and the next moment he appeared outside the space. He did not dare to resist forcibly. Under the movement, you can easily leave the locked space. This is the real magical skill. The magical skill is to ignore these things and hide in madness. Boom. After he dodged, the stick fell heavily, accompanied by a loud bang, and was hit. The space of the region collapsed, and a terrifying black hole appeared, swallowing the surrounding space debris. However, the restoration soon began, and the outside domain is capable of repairing. Unless it is irreparable, it will quickly recover. How is it possible? General Longte was shocked, and he had displayed a strong power, but he still couldn't kill a god king. Talking is a big shame. For some reason, he just appeared on the side, making him puzzled. Tianyun didn't bother to pay attention to his shocked expression, constantly controlling tens of thousands of flying swords, quickly resisting these evil spirit races. No one has broken in so far, and can't even get close. This violent flying sword is like turning into countless guards, and the invaders are killed. General Longte was shocked, but he did not stop attacking. As long as Tianyun was not killed, his men would definitely be wiped out. If he is left alone, even if he wins, he will be blamed. Taking out so many of the same family, when completely dead, it is equivalent to own incompetence. Die me. General Longte roared and waved the wand in his hand again, and the skull eyes on it lights up, and when it hits it down, it also immediately locks Tianyun's escape space. It is basically impossible for Kanshu www.ukashu.com to escape. The attack this time was tens of billions of fierce combat power compared to the previous one. Under the anger, the combat power has improved. Now in his current situation, there is no way to resist, unless he replaces the equipment, he can still resist. But if you change the suit on your body, tens of thousands of flying swords will lose their effect. Now the cooling time of the move is not over, it will take at least half an hour to move again. Is it to upgrade quickly? This is obviously not cost effective. There is an extra stone in his hand, the cooling god stone. The cooling god stone can quickly restore the cooling time for an hour, but it can only be used 10 times, but it is enough for him. Use. Movement and cooling completed. Shoo. The next moment Tianyun appeared in a distant area, easily avoiding this space lock. Chapter 874 Inches Boom. The ultimate explosion sounded in the locked space. Just like before, the space was shattered. The result did not change. Tianyun easily avoided this attack. General Long's eyes stared. What is going on? He tried desperately to attack, it was useless at all. What the hell is going on? How can you escape silently? Even if you teleport, you can't do this step, right? General Longte's eyes were cold and his heart was cold. It's so angry. When he looked over there, he found that many of his men had been beheaded, especially the spiritual king stage cultivation base suffered heavy losses. The Holy King period is a little better, but it is a bit more resistant in the later period. If it hadn't been for 3 god kings to resist Phagian, the loss would have been even worse. Continue to do this, it will consume them all. Looking at the densely packed flying swords, General Longte's scalp numb, and he feels that he wants to eat Tianyun a little bit, so that he can vent his anger. Where are you going to fight? Tianyun sneered from the side. He is going to delay the time. In his current situation, he cannot kill General Longte. But dragging is fine. After he kills all these evil spirit races, the upgrade must be several consecutive levels. After leveling up, it will undoubtedly be easier to fight against General Long. Impossible. General Long gave a roar, and once again waved his magic wand to hit Tianyun down. There was no change in the result. Tianyun immediately used the cooling sacred stone to let himself move again, easily avoiding the attack. Cooling the sacred stone is easy to use. Tianyun feels satisfied with the result. If it can be dragged on forever, then the 3 realms will hurt, the damage must be the lowest, and the result is definitely what he is most happy to comment on. What's the matter? Then the evil door suddenly disappeared. General Lonte's face sank. He thought it was too strange, but if you look closely, it seems to be space shift is a bit similar. But if the space is moved, how can it be so easy to get out if the space is so locked? Very well, you angered me. General Long roared, and under his roar, the 2 behind there were 2 booms on his arms, which burst into a cloud of blood. The blood mist that exploded quickly fell on his body, followed by his fighting power soaring, especially with a blood-red luster on it. This brutal performance made Tianyun frown and felt something was wrong. Sure enough, the next moment General Longte's combat power continues to soar by 300 billion. Suddenly it reached a combat power of 3 trillion, and I felt that combat power was not combat power, but a series of meaningless values. Why is it so scary? But Tianyun guessed that this should be similar to the type of burning blood. It's just that they are more ruthless to themselves, and directly exploded 2 arms. It seems that the effect is not as simple as increasing combat effectiveness. The combat effectiveness is only an assessment. As for the situation of the increase, he is not very clear. For example, enhancing defense power can also increase combat effectiveness. It does not mean that after enhancing combat effectiveness, you can really crush the opponent. Blindly enhance defense, how can you beat the opponent? After the eruption, bloodthirsty gaze shot from his eyes, and the wand in his hand seemed to become weird. Die to me. General Long roared and continued to smash it down. A roar came from his wand. Immediately countless souls flew out from inside, as before, completely locked the space, and at the same time countless souls bite here. The speed is very fast, several times faster than before. After the outbreak, all aspects have risen sharply, which is comparable to magical skills. It's just that the side effects are definitely not small. Both arms have exploded. It must be a long rest. When he was about to smash it down, Tianyun's figure flashed, and he easily moved away from the locked space. Even if he increased his power, the space still left as he wanted to. This is the overbearing of magical skills, free to shuttle through the opponent's space constraints, without any pressure. He doesn't know what the limit of this shift is, anyway, he can shift now. When he just appeared in the corner, a red figure suddenly appeared in front of him, and a thick fishy air floated into his nose. His heart was shocked, and he hurriedly used the cooling god stone. Shoo. The next moment, he disappeared in place and appeared in another area. But just now, another figure appeared in front of him, waving a red glow and cutting over. Go! Tianyun sank inwardly, and once again moved and disappeared in place. But when it continued to appear, it was like a red figure attached to his body, reappearing in front of him, waving the red stick in his hand and smashing it. If he was hit, he would definitely be seriously injured. Go again. Tianyun knew that this red figure was not someone else, it was General Nalongt. His speed, it's too fast, it's almost unbelievable. After the outbreak, as long as he feels his reappearance, he will immediately attack. In this case, his cooling sacred stone was consumed extremely seriously. If this continues, 10 cooling opportunities will be exhausted. He doesn't have a spare cooling sacred stone now, and he can't hold on for too long. It can even be said that one breathing time needs to be consumed once, so how to play? When he moved for the last time, he quickly put on the Cthulhu suit, and at the same time threw out the heaven-devouring god treasure, surrounded by a thick shield, and throughout the day the ancient monument of Yenjun, defended in front of him. Boom! This time the wand was still slammed, and with a loud sound, Tianyun felt that his internal organs would be destroyed. It was smashed and flew out as if it moved away. The protective cover of the heaven-devouring god treasure could not resist even a second, and it was completely shattered. Yukon Shu WW. Uansham. Then he smashed on the ancient monument of Tianyun town. The strong defense on the ancient monument of Tianyun town was still smashed by a stick. The remaining power slapped over and hit Tianyun hard. Tianyun was smashed upside down and flew out, and at the same time tens of thousands of flying swords fell, like no master floating in the air like things. He suffered a slight injury in his body, but overall it was fine. If he hadn't replaced the equipment, he would have been seriously injured under this smash. This power is really terrifying, with a combat power of 3 trillion, who is it? Unexpectedly, he eventually lost his hand. This General Longte is really too powerful. Kill. Without flying swords to resist, they furiously kill them. How can the Dragon King and the mysterious old man stop them? The 3 demon gods alone are enough for them to drink a pot. Soon many evil spirits rushed into the realm of the day and the underworld. However, the thick protection is difficult to break, and it is not so easy to break with their strength. Chapter 875. Many evil spirit races rushed over, and just when they collided with the thick shield, they immediately triggered the protection mechanism of the 3 realms. 10 stars burst out with dazzling light, and the thick beam of light blasted up, easily killing the evil spirit tribe that came up. Even the evil spirit tribe of the Holy Royal stage level was easily suppressed. The ancient god of the gods tower is also rude, and the horrible suction is released, sucking in the evil spirits that are coming up, and then using the strengthened thunder space inside to kill. Even if the ancient god tower cannot kill the evil spirits for a while, it can trap them in it, and then it will be fine to clear the scene slowly. But there is no need for this, the descendants of Gu Ming inside will help clean up these evil spirits. It can be said that the ancient Hades tower is the safest, much safer than 10 stars. However, in terms of lethality, it is true that the 10 stars are a little stronger, and they are completely a killing tool. This scene scared many evil spirit races back. They didn't expect that these 3 realms could burst out such terrible defenses, and some turned to the evil spirit races who went to the mortal world. Was soon suppressed. If you want to go to the mortal world, you still have to destroy the defenses of the underworld and the heavens, otherwise you can't get in at all. Get out of here. A demon god roared, slapped it, and knocked the Dragon King out. The golden light on the Dragon King's body is shining, and he can barely resist this move, but he can't stop many evil spirits. The other mysterious old man was the same, he was forced to retreat again and again, and he was overwhelmed with breath. Their cultivation bases were never at the level of heaven defying. They were easily suppressed by the 2 demon gods. It would be good to not die, let alone defeat the 2 demon gods. There was a demon god who was left, and quickly slapped down to the heaven. In the backhand, the huge palm was severely covered and collided with the power of 10 stars. Boom boom boom. The overbearing power of the demon god easily suppressed the power of 10 stars. Whether it is the 10 stars or the ancient god tower, it has a great effect on the cultivation base below the God King stage, but the effect on the God King level is relatively poor. The 2 artifacts are amazing, but no matter how amazing they can't easily kill the God King level. Unless the king uses them to fight, the effect will be different. Medium grade artifact, get me down. The demon god who is fighting against 10 stars, roars, vast power pressed down, accompanied by a loud noise. The entire celestial realm shook, and all the cultivators inside were shocked, feeling that the end of the world was coming. Following 10 stars fell from the sky, really like a meteorite, falling from the sky, and finally fell to the ground, smashing the ground into 10 huge pits. If you look closely, you find that 10 stars have become incomplete, and they can still be used under repair. But now there is really no way to suppress it, temporarily losing the ability to defend. When the cultivators in the celestial realm saw the changes in the sky, their faces changed drastically. Among them, the faces of those who chose to leave the alliance suddenly became extremely ugly. Is this really attacked? When they saw 10 stars were shot down, they knew how serious the situation was, and they definitely came to a general attack. At this moment, they panicked, and hurriedly said to their subordinates, "Quick, quick. Let's go and communicate with the alliance, and gather together to fight against the evil spirits. The country, the Lord, it's too late, look at it." The guard pointed to the sky. Then I saw a lot of evil spirit tribes overwhelming the sky. Among them there were 7 or 8 holy royal stage cultivators, who happened to fall down here, accompanied by many more powerful in the Spirit King period. Just fell, and immediately began to devour it frantically, and some even destroyed the city first. For a while, the entire imperial capital was plunged into chaos, and some began to kill the evil spirit race, but basically there was no return, and they were immediately caught and swallowed. Not only did they not cause any harm to them, they were also devoured severely, replenishing the energy in their bodies. The Lord's face was pale, and the power of this horror was beyond his imagination. Let's go. When the Lord wanted to escape, he saw the evil spirits intercepting him. The cultivation base is good, it will definitely be a big supplement if you swallow it. The evil spirit race rushed forward, waved 8 arms behind him, grabbed the Lord, and followed just swallow it. This country's Lord could not even resist, so he was easily swallowed up. At the moment of swallowing, he can be said to have regretted his intestines. Why did he make such a stupid move? But there is no regret medicine in the world, so they were suppressed, and it didn't take long for an emperor to be swallowed up. Not only here, but also the leaders of other regions are panicked. They want to rush to find the alliance, but time is not allowed. The opponent has already killed them, how can they escape? The evil spirit tribe specializes in devouring the strong cultivation first, so that it can replenish more energy. It's useless for them to regret it. Whatever takes them is ruthless swallowing. Not only did they pay the price for their selfishness, but they were also irresponsible to their people, and they were all swallowed by the evil spirits. However, some of them quickly fled to the alliance. After all, there are so many people, and the evil spirits cannot swallow all of them. They just give priority to devouring the powerful ones. It is a big supplement for them. On the other hand, the alliance was already prepared. When the evil spirits pounced, they immediately opened a large array, combined with a fierce battle. The evil spirits of the Spirit King period are directly suppressed, and those of the Holy King period can be easily contained, and then wait for the strong of the Holy King period to kill. Quick, quick, Yunluo God Kingdom is under attack. Yu reading www.wukashu.com, we hurry up and support. One of them, the kingdom of God that was not attacked, immediately passed to the kingdom of Yunluo through the teleportation array, and reached the area of the kingdom of Yunluo in the blink of an eye, rushing to the evil spirit races. The same is true for other kingdoms of God. They all support other kingdoms of God according to the original strategy, without being stingy. The overall situation can be withstood. After all, there are so many large formations, plus there are also many strong saints, combined with the rapid support of the teleportation array, everything can be suppressed. All of them furiously and bravely killed the enemy, and did not immediately fall into the crisis. On the contrary, those who did not join the alliance immediately fell into the crisis. They didn't have the slightest preparation, and they all thought it would not happen. This is the result of Yulang's arrogance. They have been captured one after another, and they have basically fallen. Tianyun had already put on a full set of longevity necklaces, and quickly recovered his injuries. He first looked at the 3 realms and then at General Longtain not far away. After many days of preparation, let's take a look at the good fortune this time. Tianyun believes they can win. Chapter 876. After the protection outside the heaven was breached, soon the underworld was also about to be breached. The ancient god tower cannot swallow too many evil spirit races. The key is that these evil spirit races are very powerful, and there is no shortage of evil spirit races that specialize in suppressing treasures. After suppressing the ancient god tower, they broke through the protective shield of the underworld and began to rush in. The battle of the underworld broke out immediately, and everyone is ready to fight to the death. The two worlds were smashed into it. Naturally, the mortal world didn't have to say much, and it was quickly attacked by other evil spirits. However, there are not many evil spirit races rushing to the mortal realm. They are mainly used to deal with the underworld and the heavenly realm. Naturally, the mortal realm will be slightly less. However, no matter how few, there will be a lot of strong saints. After seeing this scene, Tianyun's heart was tight, hoping that everything would be supported. I give it to you, you must hold on. Tianyun quickly recovered from his injury, staring at him. General Longte, I have to say that this opponent is too domineering. After the outbreak, the combat power has been incredible to the point. Your world protection has done a good job, but that's all, it hasn't been breached. General Longte also paid attention to the situation under his hands, and immediately turned to look at him. His eyes were cold and said, but don't worry, you will die before them. The magic wand in General Longte's hand is waving lightly, and the red light flickers on the magic wand. This is a bloodthirsty light. I don't know how many strong men died under this magic wand. This General Longte is really terrible, and he deserves to be a great general. Is that right? I don't see it. Tianyun's eyes flickered, and messages from the system continued to be heard in his ear. Ding! The Alliance successfully killed the evil spirit race. The third level of the Spiritual King period, obtained 2 billion points of experience, madness worth 50,000 points. Ding! The Alliance successfully killed the evil spirit race, 4th floor of the Holy King period, and gained 310 experience, 1 billion points, crazy worth 1.5 million points. Ding! Alliance. None of this he is fighting, but the entire 3 realms are fighting. After they kill the evil spirit race, he also gains experience. It's just that items can't be obtained, only experience will be given. This is the unified effect. As long as they kill the enemy, he can gain experience. Although no items were obtained, it was enough to gain experience, which meant that he was continuously provided with experience. If he can keep going, gaining experience is enough for him to level up. After the cultivation level is improved, the odds of winning are much greater immediately. Then I want to see, what else do you have? The next moment, General Longte burst out again. With a boom, it was no different from teleporting. He appeared in front of Tianyun in the blink of an eye, picked up the huge wand and smashed it at him. Boom bang. Wielding the force of the wand, the space made a vibration sound, and the surrounding space began to collapse, rapidly come down. At the same time, as before, the surrounding space was locked, and it was such a small area of space that was squeezed and collapsed. Tianyun was also prepared early. The Dragon God bloodline and Phoenix bloodline in his body were opened to the maximum effect, and the power was almost superimposed to the extreme level. Combining the Cthulhu suit and the ancient suit, the power is superimposed to a higher level, and the combat power is superimposed on each other to reach a higher level. 2 trillion combat power. 2200 billion combat power. 2400 billion combat power. In the end, the combat power of 24 trillion came to a halt, and he picked up the evil spirit sword and slammed it down, triggering the effect of the evil spirit sword. Ding! Consume 10,000 points of madness, and the evil spirits will burst into the sky. Boom! As the effect exploded, the combat power was once again abruptly increased by 200 billion, reaching 26 trillion. This is not yet complete. The damage pattern on the evil spirit sword made a buzzing sound, once again increasing the combat effectiveness by 100 billion. In the end it will reach a combat power of 27 trillion. A terrifying value, but it is still a lot worse than General Lant, but the matter has come to this point and can only be resisted. Boom. The huge waves are released in the dark starry sky, and layer after layer of energy fluctuations it spread around, and the space wherever it went collapsed instantly, including the surrounding rocks, which were all shattered into powder. The damage that broke out from the battle between the two was really terrifying. The invincible explosion effect enveloped both of them, and they didn't know how to win. Immediately a figure was shaken and flew out, and it was that Tianyun who appeared, and he was shaken out first. General Longte is the strongest. The evil spirits who fought in the distance shocked and filled their generals. The ultimate fanaticism. However, the voice did not fall, and another figure flew out from the other side. The situation was not as good as expected, and there were also a lot of injuries. Tianyun is a lot more miserable than General Long, with a lot of color on his body, blood constantly flowing out of his body, and even no meat in some places. The gap between the two is not small, and it is not easy to achieve this step. Replace longevity equipment. He replaced the equipment in an instant and started to heal his injuries quickly, and his injuries quickly stabilized. The blood no longer flows, and the wound heals at a speed visible to the naked eye. The longevity equipment is amazing, and the recovery speed is amazing. General Longte was shocked. He used the cost of abolishing 2 arms to increase his combat power. Who knows that he still can't kill Tianyun? It's incredible to be able to fight him again. How on earth did this happen? You reading www.ukanshu.com, did they hide their strength before? General Longte's face sank. This is not a good sign. He just wanted to quickly click to kill Tianyun, so as to occupy the 3 realms as quickly as possible. He didn't want to pay attention to Tianyun, so he could quickly occupy the 3 realms, but there was no way, he had to kill Tianyun, otherwise he would continue to attract those flying swords, and they would have suffered heavy losses. I don't believe it anymore. General Long roared, and the 2 arms behind his back exploded again. Large swaths of blood stained his body. Immediately, his body surged 2 times again, and his fighting power surged up wildly. This is really cruel to him, and now he can only detonate 2 arms to increase his combat power. He is now wearing good equipment and wants to change other equipment. Is impossible. If there is a stronger one, which has already been taken out, how can it explode his own arm? After detonating his arm, his combat power went straight up again, soaring 200 billion combat power, which was less combat power than before. The outbreak cannot be endless. The more you go up, the more difficult it is. It is scary enough to be so crazy to be able to improve at once. Come again. Tianyun's face sank. It seems that this is really going to be a fight. Chapter 877 32,000 billion combat power. The long list of values is almost bursting, but fortunately, the eye of detector can bear it, otherwise the amazing data will definitely not be displayed. Tianyun doesn't know what level of combat power this level is. At least the peak cultivation base of the gods, there is no such cultivation base. I am afraid that it is only by reaching a higher level of existence that it is possible to burst into such an astonishing level. If General Longte didn't use this kind of self-destructive move that would damage the enemy by 1,800, it would really be impossible to achieve this value. Although the loss was serious, as long as he was given time to recover, he could still recover. The main reason is that he is here to complete the task. If he can't even complete the task, he will be scolded and even punished even if he is physically intact. So when it's time to break out, he will never be stingy. I didn't expect you to push me like this. It is beyond my expectation, but it's a bit interesting. Shoo. At the next moment, General Longte slammed in front of Tianyun, and the wand in his hand had changed to another dark red for some time. The colors waved and countless resentful spirits rose up, forming a phantom shadow around them, covering the area where Tianyun was, and there was basically nowhere to escape. Whether it is speed or strength, it rises greatly. Even if there are only 6 arms, reducing the arms does not reduce any strength, but only increases the strength. Detonating these arms, on the contrary, it is like removing layers of armor and becoming light and violent. Facing such a terrifying power, Tianyun's eyes condensed, and he did not hesitate to take out the god pattern of the day. This is the absolute god pattern of the spirit race, which can strengthen him 5 times damage power. Heaven and earth god pattern, open it to me. He put the heaven and earth god pattern on his body, and the blood flowed into it instantly in his body. A deep bloody mark appeared on his chest. Followed by the combat power followed by crazy soaring, directly explode. 28,000 billion combat power. 2,900 billion combat power. Forcibly exploded 200 billion combat power, which is supposed to be more than 5 times the combat power. After all, his current basic value has a level of about 70 billion, and it should be able to explode to about 3,100 billion. However, the effect of the heaven and earth pattern is always limited. It does not mean that it can explode 5 times the effect for each level. But now it can increase the combat power by 200 billion. It's pretty bad. At least pull the distance back abruptly, as if returning to the starting point of the previous battle. Boom. Under the extreme explosion, the two were quickly bounced away. The evil spirit sword in Tianyun's hand was almost bent, and General Longte's hand was shaken out of blood. The evil spirits watching from a distance are all shocked. Their generals have even drew with their opponents. It is incredible. You must know that General Longte exploded 4 arms to have this effect. What happened to this human race? It seems that nothing has exploded. How can it be carried? What's the matter? Can I still hold it? General Long's face sank, but after steadying his figure, he waved his wand again and hit Tianyun down. He didn't stop at all, and went directly into the violent battle mode, trying to crush Tianyun. Tianyun, who was knocked into the air, flashed his eyes and felt a little bit injured in his body, but according to this situation, he could only hold on for a while at most. After all, the heaven and earth divine mark can only last for 5 minutes. Not for too long. If this continues, he will basically lose. Upgrade crazy mode. Not to mention that the madness is not enough for the time being, this requires 200 million madness points, which is really too much. Even if he saves 200 million crazy points, his level is not enough. If you want to upgrade this crazy mode, you need the peak level of the gods. He doesn't know why he needs such a high level, but he has to say that even if he has enough, he can't upgrade. Now he can only start from other places. For example, upgrading the Dragon God bloodline is a good choice. When he was thinking about how to solve General Longte had already killed him, and the wand had fallen from the top of his head. It could be said that it was more violent than once, and the power was furious. Exclamation mark. Shaking the celestial body, Tianyun roared, and the power of Billion Jin instantly merged in his hands, waving at General Longte. On the other hand, the combat effectiveness has improved, but the improvement is not much. After all, the opponent's power is also amazing, without fear of his terrifying power. Boom. Tianyun was smashed out by this stick and almost vomited blood. Unexpectedly, this guy's combat effectiveness could rise a lot. General Longte did not let him go. With a flash of his figure, he quickly caught up with Tianyun, who was flying away, and turned into a meteorite, slammed down from the air, wanting to kill him completely. Upgrade the celestial body decision. Ding. Deduct 5 million points of proficiency, successfully upgrade the celestial body decision to mid-level heaven-level martial arts. The effect is increased to tens of billions of jin of supernatural power, and the world is leveled. The next level requires 20 million proficiency. Shaking the sky, Tianyun's eyes flashed, his body immediately weighed tens of billions of caddies. He waved the evil spirit sword to greet him, and a shadow of a large mountain appeared behind him, covering a large area behind him. At this moment, he seemed to transform into an extremely huge mountain, and even the ancient god tower was compared. 300 and 100 billion combat power. Under this invincible divine tactic, the combat power has soared by 200 billion, worthy of the invincible heaven-level divine tactic. Its power is many times stronger than before. Boom. The two collided again, and the two were shaken out again, the starry sky collapsed again, and the rocks were annihilated. This time the two were in a tie again, which surprised the Dragon King and the others in the distance. It was clear that Tianyun was too much to bear just now, and suddenly it was male. What is going on here? Come back to light. Damn, what's going on? General Longte is about to vomit blood. I thought he could suppress Tianyun, who knew that a tie could be made again, but he didn't know what was going on. That's how it is. Tianyun looked cold. Yu reading www. Ukansu. At the same time, the heart gave orders. Upgrade the Dragon God bloodline. Ding. Successfully deduct 50 million points of madness, and upgrade the Dragon God bloodline to rank 8. The next level requires 100 million crazy points. Tianyun did not keep it. Anyway, it is temporarily impossible to upgrade the crazy mode. It is better to use it to upgrade other things. Dragon God's bloodline is very useful, can greatly enhance the power effect. The more it goes against the sky, the effect is definitely amazing. After the upgrade, the combat power surged again. 3200 billion combat power. 3300 billion combat power. 3400 billion combat power. 3500 billion combat power. The combat power soared 400 billion in one breath, and the value jumped frantically, reaching an incredible level, exceeding the combat power of General Longte. Chapter 878. After upgrading the Dragon God's bloodline, the combat power fully surpassed General Longte. Of course, Dragon God's bloodline increase will not be so terrible. What's terrible is the effect of Dragon God's bloodline, which can superimpose the crazy damage system. The Dragon God bloodline effect does not conflict with the crazy damage mode, which is one of the reasons he wants to upgrade. It means that after upgrading a level of Dragon God's bloodline, it will directly expand 32 times. How can the effect be bad? Blast me. Tianyun's body is still covered with thick Dragon God armor in the state of Evil God. It actually covers the effect of the Cthulhu suit. It seems that the more you upgrade to the back, the more terrifying the effect. In this state, Tianyun didn't even use a weapon, so he smashed it with his fist. The space was smashed to pieces and turned into a red glow penetrating down. If you look closely, you will find that the red light is a giant red dragon, twisting a huge body in the starry sky. Roar. The dragon's roar resounded through the starry sky, and it was actually energy spreading around and poured into everyone's heads buzzing. In the blink of an eye, he slammed in front of General Lant, and smashed it with one punch. General Long was stunned for a moment. He didn't expect Tianyun to take the initiative to attack, and immediately waved his wand to meet him. Boom. A fist hit the wand directly, and with a muffled sound, General Longte was smashed out. The wand sank against his huge body. He felt a tumbling in his body, as if his body was about to be shattered. He was stunned. The human race who had been suppressed by himself, followed by a tie with him, now suppressed himself in strength. Tianyun didn't stop, he didn't have much time, and everything had to be decided quickly. Boom, dong, dong. Tianyun went crazy with one punch, punch after punch. General Longte's body was about to be blown up. Fist to the flesh, every punch smashed into his body, the violent dragon power, the scorching evil spirit fire, and the amazing gravity of the sky-shaking divine art all gathered in his fist. General Longte's body was maddened several times, and he was still blown with a punch. His body was sunken a lot, and his internal organs were shaken. This is simply being beaten, and their general was beaten so hard. The evil spirits were shocked, and their morale dropped rapidly. General Longte is their general. Only if the general is domineering, their morale will rise. Now that they have been severely beaten, the evil spirits who are paying attention here are all cold. If the general is dead, they can win. The strong players in the following alliances have all noticed the situation here. Since the shield is gone, those with a high repair base can see the outside situation. Seeing the two great powers fighting frantically, the energy fluctuations can even be felt by them. They are all worried about Tianyun, and they think their emperor can win. The result was not unexpected. Tianyun got stronger and stronger as he fought, and then began to counter pressure. If this continues, General Longte will definitely be beaten into meat sauce. Ah! General Longt roared, ignoring Tianyun's attack, and forcibly brandishing his wand towards Tianyun smashed over. With a boom, Tianyun stretched his hand to the front and was shot out like this, but the damage to him was not great, basically negligible. After he strengthened the Dragon God bloodline, his defense power was strengthened dozens of times, and his skin was really thick. Damn human race, I want you to die. General Lant screamed up to the sky, all four arms behind his back exploded, only two arms in front of him or left. He exploded four arms in a row, and he took out a bottle of black blood and swallowed it fiercely. The surface of his body began to gradually become extremely dark, and even layers of thick black crystals began to appear, which looked extremely hard. Tianyun's eyes condensed. After this, General Longte broke out, the values jumped frantically, almost bursting. However, the beating of this value quickly stopped, and finally stopped at a combat power of 4,200 billion. Suddenly increased the combat effectiveness of nearly tens of thousands in one breath, and this broke out completely, and it was still the type of death. Tianyun could see that this kind of behavior is absolutely desperate. If this continues, he will definitely not be able to hold on for too long, as his body may explode. Obviously, General Longte's patience has reached his limit. He will not drag him, but wants to shoot Tianyun to death with the most domineering posture. Putting this to an end, after all, in his previous state, he couldn't hold on for too long. This state of burning blood is absolutely impossible to last for too long, so a quick fight must be made. Boom. As soon as General Longte stepped on the ground, he immediately slammed in front of Tianyun, and his wand was drawn down. Whether it is speed or strength, they are more than 10 times stronger than before. Tianyun took a halt, quickly swung his long sword and swung it up, shaking with General Longte. Boom. Tianyun is like a leather ball, being drawn out, straight in the direction of the world, falling straight down, can't stop even. Like a huge meteorite, it quickly fell down, and then fell heavily into the mortal world. Boom! A loud noise blasted into the sky, and the entire mortal world shook. When the dust dissipated, it appeared in front of him was a huge pit, and Tianyun was lying there. There was blood constantly coming out of his body and it shed all over the ground. The dragon armor on his body was shattered a lot, and the internal organs were almost shattered. This power is really terrifying. It is definitely not as simple as increasing the combat power of almost 1 trillion, but an overall increase in power. Obviously, it was related to the black blood, as if it had swallowed some potion, which greatly increased his combat effectiveness, and his strength was against the sky. The point is that it is now smashed into the mortal world. Reading www.wukanshu.cm means this is about to become a battlefield. You can easily hit the space and collapse outside. If you fight here, you will definitely destroy the mortal world. The effect of the god pattern disappeared. Following him, he immediately lost hundreds of billions of combat power, and his strength dropped drastically. How could he compare to this General Longte now? He believed that as long as he continued to resist, even if he could not kill General Longte, he would definitely lose after a while. Under such a full-scale outbreak, it is impossible to persist for too long. But now he can't even hold on for a while. The gap between the two immediately opened up to 600 to 700 billion, and the pressure doubled. Now there is no heaven and earth god pattern. Actually, the heaven and earth divine patterns are still available. Yi Qingshan previously prepared 2 heaven and earth divine patterns for him, plus the one given a long time ago, which means there are 3. However, it is temporarily unavailable, and this thing cannot be used immediately. It takes at least 1 day to be used. After a day's time, will this world still exist? Chapter 879 King's Blood. Without the 5-fold increase of the heaven and earth divine mark, but there is a 10-fold damage bonus for the title. This seems more appropriate, but the mortal realm is definitely not a very good battlefield. A little carelessness will spread to other areas, and there will be countless deaths and injuries. General Longte absolutely keeps his hands. If he is violent, he will be more violent. As for compressing the power, it is absolutely impossible to not spread to the surroundings. This is what he worries about. Otherwise, he would have come down and waited for General Long to come down early, with a 10-fold damage bonus. Isn't he equal to invincible existence? But for the safety of the 3 realms, he chose the area of the battlefield, which would always be outside. Now he was smashed down abruptly, which immediately caused an uproar. Their Emperor Tianyun was smashed down like this, and he seemed to have suffered serious injuries. However, Tianyun quickly bounced from the ground, and instantly replaced the longevity necklace and the longevity ring, and quickly recovered the injury in the body, combined with the healing pill, the most quickly recovered the injury in the body. At this time, the figure of General Long appeared in the air. He turned his head and looked around, contemptuously saying, "This is your environment. It's really rubbish. But such a rubbish environment, it's really unexpected to me that there can be a cultivator as strong as you." His expression is full of contempt, but his heart is full of shock. This kind of cultivation environment, there can be such a powerful cultivator, it really makes him unexpected. But his expression is not it showed it was still the superb expression. Shoo! Tianyun disappeared in the blink of an eye, and appeared in front of General Longte the next moment. "Move. Here I open," he roared, and suddenly the 3 realms began to vibrate, and all 3 of the heavenly altars released dazzling light, whether it was the 10 stars that fell on the ground or the ones below. The ancient gods' towers all began to release their dazzling light. 3 phantoms appeared in the sky immediately. They were the shadows of the King Xuanhuan. The strongest will left is gathered into the most overbearing force. In just one breathing time, the 3 realms gathered together a terrifying force and turned into a huge nail in the air. Severely penetrated towards General Longte. The space around General Longte was instantly locked, and a golden light wall trapped him inside. This is the assassin left by the 3 great kings. Even if the dragon leap demon god escapes, he will be able to repress him for 100 years. Tianyun is now using it on General Longte. Although I don't know how effective it is, at least try it. The main reason is that this effect includes suppressing the amount of pressure and reducing the damage to a minimum. In the blink of an eye, this huge nail pierced into the golden light, and it seemed that it had indeed penetrated General Longte. Tianyun was not idle, and also raised the evil spirit sword, the blood of the dragon god, and all these were released, and once again slashed down at General Longte, wanting cut him into 2 pieces. With a 10-fold bonus, the combat power rushed upwards of more than 700 billion, reaching a combat power of 4 trillion, almost catching up with General Loj. Dang. A deafening sound rang, as if it was hitting some sharp metal object. After the golden light disappeared, General Longte appeared in front of him unscathed, with no injuries at all. The condensed power of the 3 great kings couldn't cause any harm to General Longte, and it seemed to be completely blocked by the black crystal on his body. The key is that Tianyun's domineering sword was caught empty-handed by General Longte. However, his strenuous sword still caused damage to General Longte. It broke through the crystal and sank inside, flowing out thick black blood, following the palm fell to the ground. When it hits the ground, it melts the ground directly, creating a deep hole that is unfathomable. Just a drop of blood is enough to penetrate the sky and the earth, which is incredible. What is even more incredible is that I caught this sword. In the case of not far from the previous situation, at least it can shake people away. Now even Junfei couldn't do it, but he caught the attack empty-handed. It is enough to show that General Longte has a strong confidence in his physique, thinking that Tianyun will definitely not be able to break his defense. Can it be stronger? General Long's expression changed. He was very confident in himself, but he almost got cut off his hand. He thought he could be completely crushed. Pressure Tianyun, why suddenly catch up again? It is really evil. At this point, he exploded the effect of 8 arms in exchange, plus a bottle of blood to get the effect. How has the other party changed? He has never seen it. He didn't take any violent pills or other changes, and he didn't even burn his blood, just getting stronger and stronger, which is really strange. You can't stay. General Longte pulled him over, and with his hand he slammed Tianyun down. When Tianyun was pulled over, he felt a terrible force. He was pulled over by abruptly, and quickly let go after him, but instead punched him head-on. Boom. 2 big fists banged together. After the violent force collided with each other, the 2 of them shook their bodies. Among them, Tianyun was directly shocked and flew out, but General Longte could only retreat a small step. On the way, a violent force suppressed the surroundings. The ground was crushed. Due to the pressure, huge cracks appeared on the ground and quickly split around. In the blink of an eye, an area of 100 miles around was immediately destroyed to an unbearable level. Many flowers, plants and trees were crushed into powder, and some parts of the ground were also crushed into dust, and scattered around. Is just a simple punch, you read WW Wuanshu. Just let the area within 100 li area be destroyed. If the fighting continues, the mortal world must be gone. Especially in space, the sky began to collapse slightly. The originally blue sky looked very dark, like multiple black holes hanging in the air. What a strong power. Tianyun quickly took hold of his figure. His arms felt like he was going to waste, his heart after sinking. It was obvious that the difference was only 200 billion in combat power. How could it feel like a difference of several trillion in combat power? He looked at General Long with both eyes, and he couldn't see anything, he could only analyze the vast combat power. I don't know how your combat power will get stronger and stronger, but I have the king's blood blessings. How could a mere attack hurt me? General Longte, as soon as his shape changed, he rushed towards him, without giving Tianyun a chance to catch his breath. King's blood. Tianyun's pupils condensed. Could it be that the blood of this king is the blood of the strong at the top of the evil spirit race? After taking it, it is equivalent to having the blessing of the super strong. How can the power be bad? Especially the black crystal. Is it the bloodline effect of the top power? Chapter 880. The Power of Hope. Boom boom boom. General Long rushed over and hit Tianyun with a fierce blow. He didn't use a magic wand, but simply used his fists. It wasn't that he was merciful, but after taking this blood, his body strength was already comparable to the middle grade artifact level. If you don't use weapons, just use your fists to smash them. Both speed and flexibility are better than weapons. Tianyun waved his fists without fear and slammed up, punch after punch, but he was beaten back by punch after punch. The blood vessels were squeezed, blood was constantly flowing out, and it splashed all around while punching, which looked distressing. It was just as they furiously attacked that this area began to collapse on a large scale, and everything they went to was destroyed. If this continues, it will definitely spread to other imperial regions. Tianyun can only continue to bring him around here, so the ground is destroyed time and time again, and it is about to penetrate the ground. He is fighting desperately, and the others are also fighting desperately. They are all fighting the enemy and beheading these invaders. At the same time, many people are concerned about the situation here, and when they see Yi Tianyun's body full of blood, their hearts are tight. Tianyun, after Xuanhuan bit her lip and waved her sword to kill the evil spirit race, watched the situation in the distance. They could only see a vague figure, and basically could not see the fighting situation. Only when you stop, you can see a little more clearly. The energy spread over there makes them feel it clearly. If they continue to come here, they are definitely dead. Now, even if he didn't come close, the sky was dimmed and the space began to collapse. The areas that were not originally affected began to collapse a little bit. This is the undesirable effect of space collapse, which will affect the changes of the entire world. As the collapse becomes more and more serious, the result is that the world will become worse and worse. Even the ordinary world will disappear. After the space collapses, the surrounding environment will be sucked into the collapsed space little by little. This is not swallowing, but repairing the collapsed space. If the area of the collapsed space is relatively small, if the area is too large, after repairing these collapsed spaces, most of the mortal world will be lost. Not only Xuanhuan is worried about Yi Tianyun, the others are also worried, but they can't help. Don't say it is a help, I am afraid that I will be killed by that energy immediately. However, they are not idle for a moment, they are constantly dealing with the killed evil spirits. They mainly killed the Spirit King stage level. As for the Holy King stage level, it was handed over to the patron saint of the Tianyun Empire. Although many of the evil spirits killed were cultivated in the Holy Royal stage, the large formations they laid down were also not vegetarian, and some could trap the Holy. The King is strong. After being trapped, you can kill it. Everything looks so good. In fact, from the beginning, there have been casualties in the three realms, and this number is still rising. The gap in strength is too wide. Even if it can be filled by others, it is still difficult to fill in the cultivation base. Not only the mortal realm, but the casualties of the other two realms continue to increase. This clearly lets them know what a real battle of death is, and it might be swallowed in the next moment, or slapped to death with a slap. There is a strong smell of blood all over the three realms. You can smell the strong smell of blood in almost any corner. Kill. We have to protect our homeland. Yes, kill with me. Even if you die, you have to pull one back. Battle. You beasts, let me die. One by one, regardless of yourself. Anwei rushed forward. They knew that even if they hid, they would die in the end, so they might as well die a little more vigorously. However, many of them hide and do not fight. There are everyone in the war, and various natures are exposed here. Some people even begged the evil spirits for mercy, or were willing to become their slaves. However, these evil spirit races do not get in at all. As long as they see that they are not of the same race, they will kill, or they will be swallowed. The instructions they received were to come down and take over, and the opponent surrendered and begged for mercy. The occupation mentioned here is not to allow them to surrender, but to occupy them in an all-round way, killing all the powerful ones, or devouring them. As for the weak repair, I will talk about it later. Now first kill all the cultivators who are close to you. It's that simple. Some people are weak and some are brave. Fortunately, more are brave. They are all afraid of death, but they will not kneel down to beg for mercy. Anyway, kneeling down and begging for mercy is useless, so the result is desperate. During the crazy battle of the three realms, the two of Yi Tianyun continued to attack wildly, destroying the world. For a time, Yi Tianyun and General Inthe drew almost a draw, but at most they lost slightly. It's just that the body is already covered in cuts and bruises, and it looks terrible. But he still held on, as if waiting for some time. Why don't I become stronger anymore? Continue to be stronger for me, rubbish. General Inthe kept beating over and sarcastically said, isn't it arrogant before, how can I become stronger now? Are you weaker and weaker now? The three realms are being swallowed up gradually. You are defeated. Don't do these unnecessary struggles. Yes, I don't think so. Yi Tianyun's eyes were full of firm gazes, and he didn't think they had lost. The beating sounds of various systems kept coming from his ears, which meant that they had been fighting. So many people are fighting, why doesn't he fight? Death is imminent, and your mouth is hard. Rubbish human race, let me die. General Inthe's attack speed is getting faster and faster, and he crushes Yi Tianyun on the ground. Yi Tianyun continued to fight back, fists clashing his fists. The ground around him had long been destroyed, and what was left was an extremely deep pit. He feels that his body does not know how many bones have been broken, but he is holding on, and there is hope for everything. Ding! Congratulations to the player, Yi Tianyun, for successfully breaking through the third floor of the God King period. A trace of his mouth was drawn smile, this is the hope he is waiting for. Go! Yi Tianyun roared. Yu reads the book W. In this moment of heavy fisting, Ukansako's combat power exploded again. 4100 billion combat power. 4200 billion combat power. Ellipsis. 4500 billion combat power. Ellipsis. 49,080 billion combat power. After raising a level, instantly stacking 45 times the combat power, even if the breakthrough repair base only increases the combat power by 10 billion, it can increase the combat power by 450 billion. The breakthrough of the problem repair base has not only increased the combat effectiveness by 10 billion, but increased the combat effectiveness by more than 20 billion. Boom! Fist to fist, a dazzling light burst from his fist, as if it turned into a hope light into the sky up.